शलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदामेयं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादां सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितां च नमः। ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. First of all, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the authorities who are kind enough to give me this opportunity to serve all the devotees who are attending these classes. So if I would have been in Bombay, I would have come to Pune. We could have had direct classes. Since I'm in Himachal Pradesh, we are having online class. So we'll try to do as best as possible. So coming to our topic. So as far as I understood that you have completed till 6th or 7th chapter or 8th chapter of the 5th canto, and few more chapters are there which you are supposed to complete: 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Generally we discuss starting from 16th chapter of 5th canto. Prior to that, we also discuss few details from first chapter also. So in any case, whatever chapters are in between which you are not covered will be covered later on. Even in our discussion also, we will not be discussing the prayers offered by the residents of Jambudvipa. Some of the prayers are there in the 17th chapter, some of the prayers are there in the whole 18th chapter, and some of the prayers are there in the 19th chapter. So this section also will not be discussing. So these prayers will be covered by some other devotee, maybe in the next unit afterwards. So we have total 5 days, Monday to Friday, and we'll be doing all the sessions in the afternoon, though you regularly have classes in the morning. So with this background, so let us begin. So this topic has been entitled as Bhagavad Cosmology, Vedic alternative to modern astronomy. So Prabhuji was asking me, do I have any notes? So I have not made any separate notes for this. And Prabhuji also asked me, are you going to give us the slides? I'm also not going to give the slides, but all the classes are recorded for your further reference. But whatever we are discussing, everything is available in our book titled as Bhagavad Cosmology. The book name also is Bhagavad Cosmology. I think most of you know, because this book is available for last 7-8 years. So most of you know. Those who are interested to understand more and more the subject matter, you can please take this book, Bhagavad Cosmology. So it will be helpful. Everything is presented in detailed manner, so that not leaving any doubts behind. So but anyway, we'll discuss, and we will discuss one section, maybe 30-40 minutes. Then we'll open for question answers. We'll take questions related to that section, and then we'll discuss another 30-40 minutes. Then we'll open for question answers. Like that we go, so that we'll be able to cover some portion instead of taking questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sorry to interrupt. Actually, there was some problem in the sound system here. So just pause for 2 minutes.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Can you just speak something, Hare Krishna? Maybe you can say.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, Prabhuji, able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji, coming here.
Okay, we'll go ahead. So our entire presentation will be divided into 4 parts. The first part will be discussing about the structure of the Bhumandala. So which is from chapter 1 and chapter 16 to chapter 20. And second part, we will be referring a book known as Bhugolavarnanam, which was compiled by Srila Vadiraja Tirtha, one of the well-known acharyas in the line of Madhvas. So he had compiled a book, Bhugolavarnanam, in which we also find out many more additional information which fills the gaps that we come across after reading Srimad Bhagavatam, so that we'll get the whole picture. And in the third part, we will discuss the vertical structure of the universe, that is about the 14 planetary systems, and are not 14, of course, out of 14 Bhumandala already we discussed. So 13, remaining 13 we discuss in the third part, starting from chapter 21 all the way up to chapter 26. In the part 4, we'll try to discuss some practical applications of this subject matter that we study from Bhagavatam, in terms of how the day and night is happening, how the months and years are happening as per Srimad Bhagavatam, and how the moon is changing its phases, and how seasons are changing. We have 6 seasons, how they are changing, and also how eclipse happens once in every 6 months. So that is all presented in the fourth part. Generally, many times we don't get so much time to do fourth part completely. We'll see. But first 3 parts we will do in detail. The fourth part we may try to do in summary, something like that. Because that is anyway not part of the syllabus. But that is what we that is done in keeping TOP in mind, etc. So we'll try to do as much as possible. So at the end of the second canto, in the 9th chapter, we hear about, of course, before that, in the 8th chapter of the second canto, Parikshit Maharaj, with an intention to keep Sukadeva Goswami for the next 7 days, there only, he asked so many questions, so that he will continue to speak for a long time. Because at the end of the first canto, he asked a couple of questions. Sukadeva Goswami answered in 2.5 chapters. Again, in the 4th chapter, he asked a couple of questions. Sukadeva Goswami again answered in 2.5 chapters. Sukadeva Goswami seems to be in a hurry to leave that place. In order to keep him, Parikshit Maharaj asked so many questions. And so that Sukadeva Goswami will stay there for some time, at least for the 7 days. So then Sukadeva Goswami says that, in order to answer all your questions, I need to speak Srimad Bhagavatam. That was originally spoken by Lord Narayana unto Lord Brahma in 4 slokas, known as Chatushloki Bhagavatam. And eventually, Lord Brahma elaborated the meaning of these 4 verses and spoke to Narada Muni in 2-3 chapters that we read in 2nd canto, 5th, 6th, and 7th chapters. That is these 3 chapters are the meaning of the 4 Chatushloki Bhagavatam. And he requests Narada Muni that, so my dear son, the Guru Dakshana that I want you to give me is that, please go all over the universe and distribute this knowledge, whatever you received from me. Tameta Vipali Guru. Expand it and distribute it across in such a way that the hearer will get bhakti. So that is like that. So Narada Muni was speaking here and there everywhere, and he also happened to speak the same Bhagavatam to Vyasadeva and told him to compile. and whatever book Vyasdev compiled is what we are hearing. And he also taught the same Bhagavatam to his own son, Sukadeva Goswami. And that Sukadeva Goswami is saying now, I will speak that same Bhagavatam in order to answer all your questions. And that Bhagavatam will contain 10 topics. Atra sarga visargascha sthanam poshanamutaya manvantareshanukata nirodho muktirashraya. So he talks about sarga, the primary creation of unlimited Brahmandas by Mahavishnu, by his breathing and by his glancing upon Maya Devi. That is all about sarga, the primary creation of unlimited universes. Then Visarga, it is Brahma, who appeared from the lotus, which appeared from the navel of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Divide that lotus into 14 divisions, known as 14 planetary systems, and utilizing the same 24 elements, he constructs the bodies and the forms for various species who inhabit throughout the universe, consisting of the 14 divisions. That is Visarga. The third topic is Sthanam, Sthitir Vaikunta Vijaya. So Sthanam talks about the maintenance of the entire universe, consisting of 14 planetary systems and different variety of living entities. Basically, maintenance means providing them suitable facilities. So basically, we study that what are these 14 divisions, what kind of facilities are there in these divisions, what are the dimensions, this, that, and what kind of people are residing in all these places. That is what is nothing but the maintenance and protection of all the living entities by Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, who is responsible for the maintenance of the entire universe. So this topic, the Sarga has been presented in the first part of the third canto, starting from 5th chapter to 11th chapter, and Visarga has been presented in the third canto, starting from 10th chapter onwards, the whole remaining third canto and 4th canto, and all the way up to 15th chapter of the 5th canto. It's all part of Visarga. And now starting from 16th chapter of the 5th canto, we see the Sthanam till the end of the 5th canto. So that's how this entire topic is called as Sthanam. Sthanam means Sthitir Vaikunta Vijaya. Sthanam is general protection of all living entities, which shows Lord Vishnu's excellence in maintenance over Lord Brahma's creation and Lord Shiva's annihilation. Lord Brahma is responsible for creating 14 planetary systems and all the different living entities who are supposed to inhabit in those 14 lokas. Lord Shiva is responsible for destroying all the 14 planetary systems at the end of every day of Brahma. But throughout the day, Brahma creates in the morning, Lord Shiva destroys in the evening, but throughout the day, Lord Vishnu maintains. Maintenance is tough job. That is the excellence of Lord Vaikunta. That is what it is indicated. So Sthiti means the conditions of the jivas. The conditions under which the jivas are situated, are living, are maintained. This is all part of Sthiti. Vaikunta Vijaya means providing suitable circumstances. The Lord destroys the apparent suffering of the living entities. That means if we follow the code of conduct of the universe, we don't get so much suffering. But when we go against, we invite suffering to ourselves. So that is the understanding. So Lord has given facilities, also established some rules. If we follow those rules and utilize the facilities, we don't get so much suffering. But when we go against to it, against to the rules of regulations of the Lord, we are destined to experience suffering. So that is the understanding. So that is called Vaikunta Vijaya. So by the way, while this topic is being presented, we also understand the geography of the entire universe and its protection by the different devatas who are the surrendered souls of the Supreme Lord. The devatas are maintaining the entire, looking after the maintenance of the entire universe under the supervision and empowerment of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Maintenance of the inhabitants of Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka and Svargaloka, who are situated there with their regulations. Eventually, in the upcoming chapters, we'll understand that though Kshirodakshaya Vishnu is responsible for maintenance and devatas are doing it on behalf of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, but primarily this maintenance aspect is applicable to 3 lokas out of 14 lokas, that is Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka and Svargaloka. The reason is The upper 4 planetary systems are inhabited by the great sages who are mainly situated in yoga, in mystic trance. So there is no maintenance is required, and they are all mystic personalities. If they need something, they can get it by their own mysticism. So they don't need somebody else's maintenance. So upper 4 planetary systems known as Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, they are self-luminant and self-sufficient. They don't need anybody else's maintenance. They are happy in their own world. And the lower 7 planetary systems known as Bilasvargas, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala, they are inhabited by Asuras. They don't accept anybody else's maintenance. Even somebody maintaining them, they don't accept it. They are by nature revolting. So even though Devatas are maintaining the universe, the Asuras always go against the Devatas. They don't accept. That's why the maintenance is generally referred to Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swargaloka. So where people are obedient to follow the rules and regulations set by the Supreme Lord. The upper planetary systems, anyway, they are beyond the rules and regulations, and the lower planetary systems, they are against, so they don't follow. So in that way, so the maintenance is mainly for Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swargaloka. So this is about the introduction of the topic that we are getting into. So then, how and why this topic came into discussion in Srimad Bhagavatam. So at the beginning of the 16th chapter, the topic begins. They were in the first verse. It is mentioned as, in Bhumandala, the 7 oceans were created by the 7 ditches made by Priyavrata's chariot wheel, from which 7 islands appeared. I desire to know. Then Parikshit Maharaj mentions the second verse. He says that, I desire to know all about the oceans and islands with their measurements and qualities. So the reason is that Maharaj Parikshit is inquiring about the dimensions of the islands and oceans, which he had heard about in the story of Priyavrata. In the first chapter of the 5th canto, Parikshit Maharaj heard that Priyavrata Maharaj, expanding himself with the second son, traveling in his own mystic chariot, divided the one Bhumandala into 7 islands by creating 7 concentric oceans. So that was mentioned briefly in the first chapter. And Parikshit Maharaj did not ask question immediately. He waited till the pastimes of the Priyavrata Maharaj and decision getting completed. First chapter, second chapter, third chapter, like that, all the way up to 15th chapter he waited. The 15th chapter was the last chapter, which talks about the descendants of Priyavrata Maharaj until the last descendant. After that topic is over, now Parikshit Maharaj is raising question. So my dear Sukadeva Goswamiji, so sometime back you mentioned about Priyavrata's chariot wheel had divided the one Bhumandala into 7 islands. Can you talk about their dimensions, measurements, etc., and their qualities little bit? So now, then the question is that, aapko kyun chahiye? Why you want to hear all these things? You are about to die in 7 days. What is the need of knowing about these divisions, measurements, dimensions? So then in the third verse, Parikshit Maharaj states one point. The mind fixed on Lord's gross form can absorb itself in the Brahman, Bhagavan, Vasudeva, who is the light of the soul, who is situated beyond matter. Therefore, you should explain the structure of the universe. So the reason he says that, whatever we always hear about, speak about, contemplate upon, is what remains in our mind, is what remains in our heart. So we should always hear about the Supreme Lord's wonderful activities that makes our consciousness, Krishna consciousness, something like that. So in which he says, in this verse he says that, Bhagavato Gunamaye Stula Rupa Aveshitam manoi agune api sukshmatama atmajyotir pare brahmani bhagavati vasudeva shamam ave aveshitum tadvu haitad guru arhasi anuvarnitam tidi. So basically, hearing about Lord's wonderful activities makes our mind focused on the Lord and makes our intelligence contemplate about the Supreme Lord. So for that reason, I want to hear about everything in relation to Lord and his wonderful devotees. So please speak about that. So in that way, that was the reason. So for which Sukadeva Goswami responds, my dear king, there is no limit to the expansion of the Supreme Lord's material energy. The Lord is Ananta. Lord's activities are also Ananta. Navai Maharaja Bhagavato Maya Guna Vibhuter Kastam Manasa Vachasa Vadigantam Alam. So he says that Manasa Vachasa, we cannot come to complete discussion of Lord's wonderful activities. My dear king, there is no limit to the expansion of the Supreme Lord's material energy. This material world is the transformation of the material qualities, the mode, three modes, Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. Yet, no one could possibly explain it perfectly, even in a lifetime as long as that of Lord Brahma. Even though if a person had the time period, a lifespan of Lord Brahma, one cannot describe everything. More than that, even though if a person has a lifetime of 100 years, still can't do. But my dear king, you don't have much time, you only have 7 days. But still, since you are asking, I will. Therefore, by giving a general description, I will explain the particulars of Boloka, giving characteristics of name, shape, and dimensions. So Sukadeva Goswami says that, since you are asking, I'll give you a quick summary of the entire universe. It is very difficult for us to go into details about the subject matter. We only discuss a quick summary. So in one sense, Srila Sukadeva Goswami gives the superstructure of the entire universe. So taking the reference of Mahabharata, Ramayana and other Puranas such as Vishnu Purana, especially Vayu Purana, Brahmanda Purana, and other commentaries written by other acharyas, we can actually fill in the gaps that are left behind by Srila Sukadeva Goswami in order to get an appreciable picture of the entire universe. What Sukadeva Goswami speaks here is a superstructure of the entire universe. So by taking reference from other Vedic literatures, we will get a good appreciable picture. It's like making a rangoli. If you make in order to make a rangoli, first you put dots, then connect the dots by adding lines, then connect the lines by closing the open points by which you get the boxes. So by the time you get the boxes, the rangoli seems to be okay, fairly good enough. But when you fill them with colors, it becomes more and more attractive. So the picture of the rangoli without colors is what we get it from Srimad Bhagavatam. But taking reference from other Vedic literatures is what nothing but the coloring the rangoli. Finally, it becomes a beautiful picture which can be appreciated by one and all. So that's how we have to take into consideration and move on. So this was one of our project during our 2 years Vidyapit studies that we did in Govardhaniko village. Like all of you are studying now, Bhakti Vaibhav. So for that project report, in the introduction, we kind of stated 4 points. Purpose. What is the purpose with which Srila Sukadeva Goswami is speaking this entire subject matter in the Bhagavatam, which is supposed to be talking about Bhakti and Bhagavan? Why is talking about the universe? To show us the primary engagement of the residents of different lokas. Even though Sukadeva Goswami talking about the entire universe, but most of the chapters are devoted to describe the prayers offered by the people who are living in all those places. If the people all over the universe are practicing bhakti and trying to serve, expressing their desire to serve the Lord, what are we supposed to do? we should take inspiration from them and continue to practice bhakti and improve our practice of bhakti. That is the purpose in Sukadeva Goswami speaking this section. It is an overview of different geographical locations. It is not the detailed discussion of the entire universe. Just now we gave the example of the Rangoli. It's like that. And the intention is, generally we hear the proverb that God is great. But in order to really understand and really appreciate how God is great, we need to hear the second canto, the third canto, and fifth canto of Bhagavatam. When we hear and understand these topics of creation and maintenance, which are mentioned in these cantos, we can really appreciate how God is great, by which our appreciation of the Supreme Lord will increase. Our appreciation for the bhakti also will increase. So that is the intention. And finally, many of our devotee community, sometimes they say that it's all talking about the material universe. It is all about matter. Hey, we don't have to talk. We don't have to discuss. Fifth canto, the structure of the universe, just skip it. Just open sixth canto. The topics of holy name are presented. So just leave behind the fifth canto, just open sixth canto. We'll discuss about the glories of holy name, like that. Many of our devotees always say, but it is not like that. Every topic that has some connection to Supreme Lord becomes transcendental. Anything in relation to Supreme Lord becomes transcendental. As we study in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, text number 9, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha taktva deha punarjanma naiti mameti. So Arjuna. Just like the Krishna Lila in the 10th canto is as potent as to take one back to go back to Godhead. Same way, the creation and maintenance pastimes of the Supreme Lord, which are mentioned in the 2nd, 3rd, and 5th cantos of Bhagavatam, are also have the same potency to take one back to Godhead. Because these are also transcendental subject matters. This is what Lord Brahma says after talking about the entire creation to Narada Muni at the end of the 7th chapter of the 2nd canto. He says that Mayam Varnayo Tamusya Ishwarasya Numodata Shrunvato Shraddhaya Nityam Maya Atmana Muyati. Whoever hears these topics, Shrunvato, with faith, Shraddhaya, regularly, Nityam, not once in lifetime, regularly. Maya Atmana Muyati. Such kind of people are not bewildered by Maya. Hearing means hearing and internalizing. When both happens, one becomes careful of Maya. That's how it is indicated by Lord Brahma himself. So this is all about the background. So there was a question in the chat box. What do you mean by maintenance? So maintenance means taking care of the all the living entities by providing sufficient, all the suitable facilities. Just like a man marries a woman and takes care of her and also her children throughout their tenure. That is maintenance. Providing them whatever they need, that is all maintenance. So like the Lord is maintaining us, providing whatever we need. He has given us the body in which we can stay. He is giving us the rain, sunlight, moonlight, and food grains through the via medium of all the different devatas under the supervision of sun, moon, Indra, and Bhudevi, etc. So he is enabling us to do whatever we are supposed to do and do the needful. So in that way. Here is a small 2 minutes video, and after that we'll move on.
The night sky, the dark blanket above our heads adorned with shining stars, extending as far as the eye can see. The beauty and the majesty of the universe have inspired awe and reverence in the best brains throughout history. Many millennia ago, an advanced civilization revealed the mystery of the origin and nature of the cosmos. The universe is made up of 14 vertically arranged planetary systems, or lokas. In the center of Jambudvip stands the most extraordinary divine golden mountain, Meru. The sun evaporates water from all over the creation and uses it as fuel. The Vedic literatures answer the question whether the cosmos always existed or it had a beginning. On the ocean, Vishnu expansion reclined on a serpent bed. From his navel arose a lotus on which Brahma was born. The super-intelligent being, Vishnu, reclining in mystic slumber amid the causal ocean. When he exhales, millions of universes issue from his body and expand, until he inhales when all the universes return within him.
Okay, so this is the popular picture that we have in ISKCON, which which describes about our universe. So this is the universe in which all of us are residing. Here is Garbhodaksha Vishnu. From his navel comes a lotus, and top of that lotus, Lord Brahma appears. He divides that lotus into 14 divisions. These are the 14 divisions names. Bhuloka is in the middle. Bhuvarloka, Svargaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala. So these are the 14 lokas about which we'll be discussing in our discussion. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, our universe is compared to a lotus that is coming out of a water pond. Our entire universe looks like a lotus coming out of the water pond. So this is the universal shell within which our universe is there. So the lower half of the universe is covered by water. This is known as Garbhodaka ocean. The lower half is water. Just above the water, we have a beautiful lotus leaf, which is spread across the entire diameter of the universe. In the middle, there is a lotus stem coming, and there is a flower at the top of the universe. The 14 lokas are situated in the lotus flower, lotus stem, and lotus leaf. So it is like that. So here, you see, this is somewhat to the more close approximation. This is the entire universe, Brahmanda, within which the Garbhodaka ocean is filling water to the 50%. And Garbhodaksha Vishnu is situated himself within the waters, somewhere down below the Garbhodaka ocean. And from his navel appears a beautiful lotus consisting of lotus leaf, which is located just above the water, as we see in South Indian temples. And in the middle, there is a lotus stem, and top there is a lotus flower, on top of which Lord Brahma is situated. And this Lord Brahma initially divided this lotus into 3 divisions, but he was not happy with 3 divisions. Then he made into further divisions into 14, and the 14 will have many subdivisions. You see here, the 4 upper planets are divided from the lotus flower: Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. And Bhuvarloka and Svargaloka are manifested from the stem portion of the lotus. And the upper surface of the lotus leaf is the Bhumandala. This is the Bhumandala or Bhuloka, Mahitala. It is called as Mahitala. And within that leaf, there are 7 caves. They are known as Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala. These 7 lokas are located within the leaf, and they are called as Bilaswargas. Bil means the cave kind of thing. We have tunnels within the mountains, something like that. So these are the 7 lokas are inside the lotus leaf. So this is where and how these 14 planetary systems are situated. And within each and every planetary system, within each and every loka, there are many divisions and subdivisions. So within Svargaloka, there are so many planets. Within Bhuvarloka, there are so many abodes. Within Bhuloka, there are so many Dvipas and Varshas. So about which we are going to discuss. So in the first part, we will be discussing about the Bhumandala, and it is called as horizontal structure of the universe, because this lotus leaf is spread across the entire diameter. It is horizontal. And when you go to the top, when you look downward, you simply see a circular disc. And that is nothing but the upper surface of the lotus leaf. And within that circular disk, there are so many divisions, subdivisions. And it is on the horizontal plane. That's why that part is called as horizontal structure of the universe. Later on, the third part of our presentation, we'll discuss about the remaining 13 divisions. Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, and 7 below. So these are there they are aligned in the vertical structure of the universe. That's why that part is called as the vertical structure of the universe. So they are the two parts that has been divided into in order to present it nicely. So we'll see like that. So this is our same thing, the same picture. So this is the Bhumandala, Bhuloka, Garbhoja, Ocean, 14 lokas. So for now, we'll be discussing about the entire Bhumandala, which is nothing but the upper part of the lotus leaf as you look from the top. So I think most of us are coming from the engineering background. We have a subject called as engineering drawing in the first year of our BTech. Even others also, it is not a rocket science, can understand. So this is a 3D object. When you see a 3D object from an angle, for example, I have the book. So this is a 3D object. If I see this book from certain angle like this, so I see this side, this side, this side. So most of the object is visible. But when you see this object from the front only, from front, this side, front side, this is front side. So you will see this as like this. So this portion will appear like this, and this portion, the inverted L portion, will be seen like this. There is the intersection cutting portion here. This is the front view. And this is the left-hand side view. You come to your left-hand side and look at it. So this L portion is there. Here is the L portion. And this is one rectangle. And this is one rectangle you see. Here one rectangle, here one rectangle here. And when you go to the top, look downward. This is one L portion. This is one L portion. And this is one rectangle. This is one rectangle. So this is called front view. This side is called left-hand side view. This side is called right-hand side view. If you go this side, it will be called opposite view. From this side, it is called top view. From this side, it is called bottom view. Like the different more ways. But generally, we only see 3-side picture. This is front view, left-hand side view, and this is top view. With the 3 sides, we can actually construct the object. And this vision is called isometric view. And these are all called front view, left-hand side view, top view, etc. So this is the original object. When you draw in the paper, you draw like this, and its side view is like this, top view is like this, and this is the right-hand side view is like this. So this is some basics of the drawing, and we'll use this in the future. So this is the isometric view of our entire universe. When you go to the top and look downward, you see this entire lotus leaf and lotus flower also on the top. But for now, we'll be discussing about the lotus leaf, what is there in the lotus leaf and different divisions. And when you go this side, front side, or this side or this side, the front view will be same in all directions like this. The lower half is water. Just above the water, we have lotus leaf and stem and the flower. So currently, from 16th chapter to 20th chapter, we'll only see this top view picture of the Bhumandala. And later on, from 21st chapter onwards, we'll see front view picture of the entire universe. So that's how this is a little bit background about what we are supposed to discuss. So in the first part, we'll be discussing from chapter 1, and then chapter 16 to 19 we'll discuss Jambudipa. So Priyavrata divide the Bhumandala into 7 Dvipas, 7 islands. Of the 7, the innermost Dvipa is called as Jambudipa. The Jambudipa has been presented from 16 to 19 chapters. And then the 20th chapter, the remaining 6 Dvipas are presented. So in that way, we will discuss about all the 7 Dvipas, which are there in the Bhumandala. So this is the brief intro to our subject matter, what we are going to discuss in the upcoming 5 days. So before getting into the actual topic, starting with chapter 1, does devotees have any questions? We'll take a couple of questions and then move on. Yes, you speak a little louder. Keep your microphone close by.
Hare Krishna, hello.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Yes, Guruji.
Guruji, from Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, speak louder. Okay. Someone else? Some other devotee have any questions?
Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, am I audible?
Very low. Your volume is very low.
Hare Krishna. Is it audible now?
Yeah, now it is better.
Prabhuji, thank you very much for explaining so nicely. Prabhuji, I wanted to know that from top view, when we
Hmm.
talk about the petal of the lotus,
Hmm.
my question is, this petal, does it cover the entire diameter of the universe?
See, Prabhuji, हम petal के बात किया नहीं अभी तक. We have not yet started discussing about the petal. We are only discussing about the lotus leaf.
So this lotus leaf.
This lotus leaf is covering from here to here the entire diameter of the universe.
Okay, okay.
Not the petal. Petals are here.
Oh yes, Prabhuji, yes, Prabhuji. I meant to say leaf itself. Yes, yes.
Yeah. See the picture, na?
Correct, Prabhuji. Leaf itself I was talking about.
Lotus leaf.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other devotees? Yeah. Go ahead.
Leaf and the end has got some gap. Leaf and the end.
Which end? Here?
Does it touch the diameter, the shell of the universe?
Prabhuji, those details will come later. See, don't get into the details. Just get the concept. In the 20th chapter, we will discuss about whether it touches or not touches later on.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Don't worry about the details. Just try to understand the concept.
Clear, Prabhuji, clear.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
So, other devotees? Any other devotees have any questions? Am I fast? You are able to follow my discussion?
Yes, Prabhuji, it's pretty clear.
Okay. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Is it audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, you mentioned that earlier Brahmaji was happy with 3 divisions only, but later he thought to make it 14.
No, Brahmaji was not happy with 3 divisions. That's why he made into 14 and then many subdivisions of 14. इतना बड़ा यूनिवर्स है, इसमें 3 प्रकार का लोगों को क्यों बनाने का? ज्यादा डिवीजन रहेगा तो ज्यादा प्रकार का लोग रहेगा. ऐसा सोच के, thinking like that, he made into many divisions.
Prabhuji,
why only 3 variety of people need to stay in the universe? Let there be many varieties. Hoping that he created 14 divisions, and then within 14 divisions there are many subdivisions, so that multiple variety of living entities can stay in the universe. That was the whole idea.
Prabhuji, that is mentioned in the Bhagavatam only, or where?
It is mentioned by the commentary given by Srila Vishnu Chakra Tagore. Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 10, one of the verses. I don't remember the verse number.
Yes. Okay.
Maybe 10th or 11th.
Okay.
Whatever we are discussing, everything is from Bhagavatam. If we are discussing from some other scripture, I will always mention the name of the scriptures. Don't worry, I am not trying to put anything from outside. Since we have given the topic Bhagavad cosmology, everything is from Bhagavatam only. Either directly from the verses or from the commentaries of the Acharyas. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Vishnu Chakra Tagore, Srila Jiva Goswami, Srila Sridhar Swami. So all these different Acharyas commentaries.
This Garbhodaksha Vishnu lies within water, inside or on surface?
Is situated within the waters. Actually, is said to be here where Garbhodak Ocean text is there. This is where he sleeps. Down below the Garbhodak Ocean.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, fine. We'll move on. So now let us begin with chapter 1. So before that, we'll be using some of the Sanskrit words in our regular discussion, because many words do not have proper English translations. The Sanskrit words gives us clear understanding. So that's why we'll be keep using the word Dvipa. Dvipa, generally we understand that Dvipa means island. Our school understanding of island is a tract of land that contains water on all four sides. But from our Bhagavatam, Dvipa means that contains water on both the sides. Dvi means two. Apa means water. Bhumi rapo nalo vayu kamano buddhi revacha. Apa means water. A tract of land that contains water on the front side as well as the back side is called as Dvipa. And more important than that is that which drinks water from both the sides is called Dvipa. The earth by nature, it is nothing but the combination of earth elements, the dust particles. The dust particles by nature are disintegrated. To keep them, we need to provide some water. When you take a palmful of dust and add some water, it becomes a mud block. It becomes a stable, solid mud block. Otherwise, the dust remains always disintegrated. You throw into the air, it will go here and there, disoriented. That's why the Dvipa supposed to be given water continuously. Then only it can stay intact at one place. Whether it is Bhumandala or whether it is our earth globe, there is always water. If there the day when the water, all water evaporates, the earth becomes disintegrated into sand particles. Then we can't stay anymore on the surface of the earth. That's why it is called Dvipa. And just like a tract of land located between two water bodies is called Dvipa, similarly a tract of land located between two mountains is called as Varsha. And the measurements in relation to the different divisions and subdivisions of the 14 planetary systems within our universe, in the Bhagavatam, they are all given in terms of yojana. One yojana is approximately about 8 miles, which is approximately 13 kilometers, because 1 mile is equal to 1.609 kilometers. So whenever we say some so and so yojanas, you can multiply that in your mind with 13 in order to get the value in kilometers, so that you can relate to our regular usage number units. So many of the details, many of the dimensions are very huge. So we'll use the short form of 1 capital MY, which stands for 1 million yojana, which is 10 lakh yojanas. So these are some of the terms which keep coming again and again in our discussion. Kindly remember these words: Dvipa, Varsha, Yojana, and million yojana. So how and why Priyavrat Maharaj divided the Bhumandala into 7 islands by creating 7 oceans? This is presented in chapter 1, text number 30 to 35. And here we try to get some information about is the sun stationary or moving? Oceans of milk, ghee, and curd. So before getting into what did Priyavrata do, so we will try to understand who is Priyavrata Maharaj, who is this personality. Lord Brahma started his creation by dividing the lotus into 14 planetary systems and then creating aquatics, plants, reptiles, animals, and then humans, superhumans, the devatas, rishis, etc. At the end, his final creation was Swayambhuva Manu and Satarupa, who became the first Manu for the entire Bhumandala. So he had 5 children, of which 2 sons and 3 daughters. Priyavrata was the eldest. His younger brother was Uttanapada, and they have 3 sisters: Akuti, Devahuti, and Prasuti. So Priyavrata and Uttanapada were sent to Gurukul, to the Gurukul of Narada Muni. They studied until their youth, and after that, Priyavrata decided to stay back in the Gurukul, continue to perform Swadhyay and Tapasya, austerities, etc. And Uttanapada, the younger brother, returned home. So father understood the eldest son wanted to stay back in the ashram only. Okay, let him stay there. And he requested his younger son to become the king. So Uttanapada became king. He had a son Dhruva. Then eventually afterward Dhruva became king, and then Dhruva's son, like that, one after the other, one after the other. The lineage continued. Eventually there appears Anga Maharaj, who had Vena as his son, and through Vena there appeared Prutu Maharaj. After Prutu, many generations later, there comes Prachina Barhi. After Prachina Barhi, there comes Prachetas, the 10 Prachetas. And the 10 Prachetas married one girl, and through them they had Daksha as their son. When Prachina Barhi was ruling over the entire Bhumandala, Daksha Prajapati, who was the one of the Manasa Putra of Lord Brahma, who appeared along with Narada Muni directly from the body of Lord Brahma. So he was performing a fire sacrifice in which he had some conflict with Lord Shiva. He did not invite Lord Shiva. Mother Sati went there, and she was not respected. She was not received. She felt offended. She burnt herself. Lord Shiva became angry and created Virabhadra. Virabhadra went and cut off the neck of Daksha and threw the head of Daksha into the fire. Then Lord Brahma goes to Lord Shiva, pacifies Lord Shiva, and requests Lord Shiva to revive the sacrifice and revive Daksha also, and allow the sacrifice to be completed. Lord Shiva comes and he sees around that Daksha's dead body is there, but without a head. And there was a goat which was supposed to be offered as oblation in the yajna. So Lord Shiva requests the Brahmanas to cut the head of the goat and add it to the body of Daksha. And doing that, Daksha was revived, because Lord Shiva was expert in this kind of thing, arrangement. Even previously also, Mother Parvati, when she manifested Ganeshji and put him under at the gate to as a security, while Mother Parvati was taking bath inside the home, Lord Shiva comes. Lord Shiva wanted to go in. Ganeshji says, "No, you cannot go in. My mother told me to guard this palace." Lord Shiva becomes angry and cuts off the head of Ganesh, and the head got burnt. Mother Parvati comes out and sees what happened and cries loudly. In order to pacify her, Lord Shiva requests his followers to get the head of an animal or anyone, any living entity which is sleeping towards north or east, whichever. So elephant was there. The elephant head was brought and added to Ganeshji's body, and he was revived. So Ganeshji had a human-like body and elephant-like head. Here Daksha will have human-like body and goat-like head. So that sacrifice completed. Everyone was happy. Everyone went to their home. But Daksha was not happy. Daksha died untimely because he could not continue to live with goat head. He was so beautiful person before. Now with goat head, he became so ugly. He felt so bad and he died untimely. Then he appeared as the son of 10 Prachetas. So Prachetas ruled for 10 Prachetas, the sons of Prachina Bari. When Prachina Bari ruling, this entire Daksha episode happened. Immediately Daksha appeared, lived for some time, and then he appeared the grandson of Prachina Bari. And then Prachetas ruled for some time. Then when they were going to forest, taking on Vanaprastha order, they requested Daksha become the king and rule over the kingdom. Daksha said, "No, I don't want to continue as the ruler. I was Brahma's Manasa Putra, a great Prajapati, best of all Prajapatis. Why should I continue as a human ruler?" So he wanted to regain his powers. He went on the west side to perform austerities. There was no one to rule over the kingdom, the entire Bhumandala. So then, Swayambhuva Manu again goes to Narada Muni's ashram to request his eldest son Prevrata to come home and take the responsibility of the rule over the entire Bhumandala. So Bhagavatam says that by now, since the time Swayambhuva Manu became the ruler, and then when Daksha supposed to become the ruler, but he went to forest to perform austerities to regain his previous position, half of the Swayambhuva Manvantara time period has passed. One Manvantara lasts for 71 Chaturyugas. Half of that is 36 Chaturyugas time period already completed. That means more or less for 36 Chaturyugas, our Prevrata Maharaj was performing austerities in the ashram of Narada Muni. Okay. Then Swayambhu Manu came and urged him to come home and become the king. He said no. Then Lord Brahma himself came. He told that this is Lord's desire. You should go and you should do. Lord will take care of you, don't worry. So by the command of Lord Brahma, Priyavrat Maharaj comes home, gets married, becomes a king, and rules over the entire Bhumandala for 11 Arbuda years. 11 Arbuda years is equal to 110 million years, which is approximately 25 Chaturyugas or 25 Divya Yugas. 36 plus 25, almost 61 Divya Yugas is the lifespan of Priyavrata Maharaj. He is not an ordinary person. Our lifespan is 100 years only. We can't even think of. See, if 25 Divya Yugas is equal to 110 million years, then 36 would be somewhat maybe almost 150. That would be another 150 plus 110. 260 million years is total lifespan. So he is not a ordinary person, and this person can do something extraordinarily. So like that. And this Priyavrat Maharaj divided the one Bhumandala into 7 Dvipas and 7 oceans. This is the background of Priyavrata Maharaj. Having divided the Bhumandala into 7 divisions, so many times students ask me question, hey, why you did only 7? Why not 6? Why not 5? Why not 4? Why not 8, 10, 20? Why 7? Because he had 7 sons. He wanted to divide the property to his 7 remaining sons who want to become the Kshatriyas. He divided the Bhumandala into 7 divisions. So that is why who is Priyavrata Maharaj? That is all about. And why did he divide the Bhumandala? That we'll see now. And how he did, that also we see now. Maharaj Priyavrata, this is the 30th verse, reigned while the sun going around Meru lit up half the surface of the Bhumandala, while the other half was dark. So when Maharaj Priyavrata was ruling, at any given point of time, due to the movements of sun, half the Bhumandala was bright, other half was dark. But discontent with this condition, thinking that he would make the night into day by his brilliant chariot, which traveled at the speed of the sun, becoming like a second sun, followed the movement of the sun 7 times. So he was not happy that why it is so. Half the Bhumandala is night, half the Bhumandala is daytime. People are wasting time in sleeping 12 hours. So he wanted to make the night portion into day, so that people have 24 hours daytime, so that they can practice bhakti seriously and go back to Godhead as early as possible. That was his intention with which he did it. The truce created by the wheels of his chariot produced 7 oceans, from which 7 islands were formed. So this is why he did and how he did is mentioned in the 30th and 31st verses. And now let us see what exactly happened. So this is the chariot of Priyavrata Maharaj, and this is Mount Meru, this is sun. So this is the Bhumandala, as you see from the top. So kindly remember, in the past slides, we have showed the entire Brahmanda like this, and lower half is filled with water. Just above the water, we have a round lotus leaf. When you go to the top and look downward, this is how the lotus leaf looks to you. A circular disc. Exactly in the middle of this circular disc, there is Mount Meru, which is a golden mountain, about which we will discuss more in 16th chapter. So keeping this golden Mount Meru at the center of his orbit, sun revolves around this Mount Meru day in, day out. The sun's travel, starting from here, going around and completing one round, he would take 24 hours. In 24 hours, sun makes one round. So at any given point of time, the half side which is toward the sun is bright, and other half which is away from the sun, it is dark. Now kindly do not ask me question why this is bright and why this is dark. That we will discuss maybe in the 3rd class. When we come to 3rd class, that time the second part of our presentation, that time we'll discuss. Currently just be happy looking, as you look downward, half the portion appears to be bright, half the portion appears to be dark. Priyavrata was not at all happy with this. Why these people are wasting time in night? So Priyavrata Maharaj, who was ruling over the entire Bhumandala, his capital was, according to Bhagavatam, was known as Brahmavarta. The city from which Swayambhuva Manu, Uttanapada, Dhruva, Anga, Vena, Prutu, Prachina Barhi, Prachetas, and now Priyavrata were ruling is known as Brahmavarta. This place is located on the banks of Ganga, and today the same place is called as Bittur, which is about 20-25 kilometers away from our Kanpur city. From Kanpur, this town is very close by, about 20-25 kilometers. So anyone can visit that place. Even today also we can see on the bank of Ganga, there is a place, a pilgrimage place known as Brahmavarta. If you go inside the city on north side, there is a, what you can say, a monumental place known as Dhruva Tila. They say that Dhruva's palace was here, only from here they used to rule, like that they say. A small temple is there where the Dhruva small deity is there and his worshipful Lord's deity is also there. So that is there. On the other side of the same city, on the south side of the city, on the bank of Ganga, there is Valmiki Muni's ashram. It is here on the bank of Ganga in this Brahmavarta only. Valmiki Muni used to stay there, and that is where Lakshmana left Mother Sita by the order of Lord Rama, and Valmiki Muni took Mother Sita to his ashram and took care of her, took care of the two children, twins born of Mother Sita, and took care of their education, everything, etc., etc. All that happened in this Bittur only. So that was the capital city of Dhruva and Priyavrata in the past. So Priyavrata was ruling the kingdom with the capital being situated on the bank of Ganga, but he was not happy that half the portion is bright and half the portion is dark. What is this? I don't want this. So Priyavrata expanded himself into two forms. One personality is ruling the entire Bhumandala, being situated in Bittur. Bittur is somewhere here, close to Mount Meru. And then one form is traveling in his chariot. This chariot had got only one wheel, just like sun's chariot had only one wheel. His chariot also had one wheel. It is a mystic chariot, and he himself is situated in that chariot. And he and the chariot put together, appearing like a huge fiery ball and giving light to this half of the Bhumandala. So which was dark previously, now became fully bright as it would be with sunlight. So he has become like second sun. So following the speed of the sun, he would exactly follow like the way the sun is traveling. So he traveled like that day after day, day after day, day after day for 26 days. Since his chariot had only one wheel, that one wheel is traveling on the same place on the surface of the Bhumandala for 26 days. The chariot is so heavy, it created a ditch in the Bhumandala. So this is the ditch, a kind of canal. So previously, the Bhumandala was one homogeneous Bhumandala. Because of his travel for 26 days, though I have shown only one round, the travel went on for 26 consecutive days. One circle is one day, like that they did it for 26 days. The chariot wheel created a ditch. This is the first ditch. Then Priyavrata Maharaj wanted to go a little bit outside. So he went a little bit far distant. So now the thing is that since the capital city was here, very close to Mount Meru, when he went to a far distant, he and his chariot were expanded into 2 times. The reason was he wanted the people in his capital to see him with the same size. So when the objects are going away from us, we see them smaller and smaller. Just like the flight in the airport looks very huge. But the same flight when it is flying in the air, we see from the surface of the earth as a small bird. As it is going far, it becomes small. But Priyavrata Maharaj wanted to be seen by the people in his capital the same size. So as he went a little bit outside, he expanded his size into 2 times. And hence, his chariot also expanded into 2 times. And hence the chariot wheel also. Then he continued his journey following the movement of sun. The chariot wheel created another ditch there because they did it for 26 days continuously. And this time, the ditch is twice to the width of the previous ditch. If the previous one is of the size of X, this one will be 2 times to the size of X. It is like that. And whatever the size of the X, the ditch, that much Bhumandala left behind. Now it became 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. Like that, again he went out, expanding himself into 2 times, traveled following the movement of sun for 26 days, created another ditch, which was 2 times thicker than the previous ditch. This one is 2 times thicker than the previous one. And this width of the land is twice to the width of the previous land, which was twice to the width of the previous land. And then again Priyavrata went outside, expanding himself 2 times, following the movement of sun, traveled for 26 days. As a result, the chariot wheel created a ditch, which was twice to the width of the previous ditch. And the land which is left behind, left in between, was the twice to the previous land. Then again he went out, traveled the path of sun, expanding twice to the previous size. And chariot wheel created a ditch, which was twice to the width of the previous ditch. Again he went out, traveled for 26 days, following the path of sun, created another ditch, which was twice to the previous ditch. Like that, he did for 7 times. So that one big Bhumandala, as a result, has been divided into 8 divisions. So there are 7 divisions inside the 7 concentric ditches and the leftover Bhumandala outside. So we are not discussing currently about the leftover part, but inside these 7 concentric circles, concentric ditches, there are 7 lands. So like that, traveling in each track for 26 days, Prevrat Maharaj created 7 separated tracts of land. 7 times 26, which is about 182 days. That took half the year, 6 months. Starting his journey in the middle, in the middle of the Bhumandala, gradually coming out. The 7th one completed after half the year. So like that, he gradually came outward. So thus he had 7 chariots, each with 1 wheel. Since the chariots are continuously increasing, twice bigger, they are considered, though it is 1 chariot only, because their sizes are different, they are considered to be 7 chariots. That's why Bhagavatam says he traveled in 7 chariots. Each chariot is the twice to the size of the previous one. Thus, each ocean is the twice the previous ocean. And also, the width of the tract of land left behind was also twice to the width of the previous tract of land. So it is like that. So he traveled in each chariot. Bhagavatam says, Acharya says that I said 26 days, but exactly it is 25.76 days. So multiplying this value with 7, it becomes 180 days, which is half year. So this is according to what you can say. There are different manas. One is Surya mana, Chandra mana, Nakshatra mana. According to some sidereal mana, 1 year having only 360 days. According to Surya mana, according to solar calendar, we have 365.25 days in 1 year. But either way, approximately we can take. So when he started his journey on summer solstice. That is Karka Sankranti, which generally comes in July 17th. And he continued his journey going outward all the way up to Paush Mas, which comes in the month of January. Then, from the middle of January, that is on Makar Sankranti onward, the day after Makar Sankranti, Prevrat Maharaj started return journey, traveling in each circle for 26 days and going inside. For the other 6 months, all the way up to Ashadha Mas, which comes in the month of July, he completed his return journey. So for 6 months, he went outside. For 6 months, he went inside, traveling in each tract for 26 days. So like that. So he traveled here on the outer circle for 26 days. Then 26 days in the second circle, second outer, third outer, another 26 days, another 26 days, another 26 days, another 26 days, like that. Finally, 26 days here. Like that, overall, 1 year, within 1 year, 6 months he went outside, 6 months he went inside. Like this, he did it as long as he was ruling over the entire Bhumandala. He ruled for 25 Chaturyugas. That long he did it. Since he did it so long, the ditches are become so deep, so deep, so deep. Eventually, by the will of the providence, all these ditches are filled with different variety of waters, and they became known as oceans. And the in-between lands became known as Dvipa, because this particular tract of circular land has water inside, also has water outside. That's why this land has water on both the sides. It is called as Dvipa. And this water is sweet drinking water. And this Dvipa is called Pushkar Dvipa. This water is emulsified yogurt, that is buttermilk water. And this Dvipa is known as Shaka Dvipa. They were given different names eventually. So like that, Privrat Maharaj traveled in and out as long as he was ruling. Later on, these ditches are filled with waters and they became oceans. So as you go inside, you see, this is the fifth one is Milk Ocean. This is Krauncha Dvipa. This is Ghee Ocean, clarified butter, matlab Ghee Ocean. This is Kusha Dvipa. This is Surasagara. This is Salmali Dvipa. The liquor means not the liquor that we get outside on the roadside. This is the Surasagara. This is actually good for health, not intoxicating. So then, sorry, come back. As you go inside, this is Salmali Dvipa. This is sugarcane juice ocean. This is Plaksha Dvipa. This is the saltwater ocean, and this is Jambudvipa. The innermost island is Jambudvipa. In the middle of Jambudvipa, we have Mount Meru. So this is how Privrat Maharaj had divided the entire Bhumandala into 7 divisions. They are known as 7 Dvipas, surrounded by 7 oceans. Here you see, these are the 7 names of the 7 Dvipas. These are the 7 names of the 7 oceans. And they are the 7 sons of Privrat Maharaj, whom he has given the responsibility of these respective divisions. So whatever is the width of Jambudvipa is also the width of saltwater ocean. And whatever is the width of Lakshadvipa is also the width of sugarcane juice ocean. But the width of Lakshadvipa is twice to the width of Jambudvipa. Width of sugarcane juice ocean is twice to the width of saltwater ocean. So like that. X, 2x, 4x, 8x, 16x, 32x, 64x. The same thing. Those 7 islands were Jambu, Plaksha, etc. 7 oceans are Ksharoda, Ikshoda, Suroda, Grutoda, Kshiroda, Dadi, Mandoda, Shuddhoda, etc. So if at all we want to calculate the radius of the entire Bhumandala all the way up to the outer boundary of the 7th ocean, so this is the formula, the total radius. Coming from outside, this one is same, and all these are like same, two times they are coming, 2 times 64x, 32x, 16x, 8x, 4x, 2x. So all the way from here to here to here, they are all same. So we have multiplied with 2 times, all of them, adding them. And saltwater ocean is 1x, but Jambudvipa will be half x. The reason is, so the total diameter of Jambudvipa is x. From here to here is the total x. That much is the width of saltwater ocean. From here to here it is x, and Jambudvipa here to here is also x. If at all we want to know the radius, we need to take from the center of Jambudvipa, center of Meru, and go outward the measurement. So this is 2x and this is 2x. We added that. This is 4x, this is 4x. That all fine. This is x. But if you want to know radius, we need to add only half x, not the full x. That's why only half x is added for Jambudvipa. The total would be 1.5 times x, 2 times 126x. Total becomes 253.5x. So later in 26th chapter, we understand the x is equal to 0.1 million yojanas. That means the width of Jambudvipa, the diameter of Jambudvipa is 1 lakh yojanas. The width of saltwater ocean also 1 lakh yojanas. This width is 2 lakh. This is 2 lakhs. This is 4 lakhs. This is 4 lakhs, like that. So substituting x with 1 lakh or 0.1 million yojanas, we get the outer radius of the seventh ocean. So the seventh ocean was sweet drinking water. Center of Mount Meru to this point. The total distance from here to here it is 25.35 million yojanas. These are the dimensions of the Bhumandala which we are talking now. This is how Priyavrata Maharaj had divided the Bhumandala into 7 divisions and gave them to 7 of his sons to rule over. At the end of this chapter, these wonderful activities of Priyavrata Maharaj are also glorified. And the names of the 7 divisions are also mentioned in various scriptures also, like Siddhanta Shivramani, Vishwala Prabhupada quotes in Madhya Lila. It says that the island situated in the middle of salt ocean is known as Jambudvipa. Like that, there are 7 islands, 7 dvipas, surrounded by 7 oceans, and they are known as Jambu, Shaka, Shalmali, Kusha, Krauncha, Gomedar, Plaksha, Pushkara. They are called dvipas, for they are situated in between 2 concentric oceans. Dvipa, Dvi-apa, water on both the sides. Dvayor antaram ekam samudrayor dvipam udaharanti. One dvipa is located between two oceans. Dvayor samudrayor ekam dvipam. That's why it is called dvipa. So it is like that. So these are the verses glorify Priyavrata Maharaj's wonderful activities. Who could perform the actions of the Priyavrata except the Supreme Lord himself? Only the Supreme Lord could do this wonderful act, but he empowered, in this case, he empowered Priyavrata Maharaj. By the rim of his chariot wheel, he made 7 oceans and destroyed the darkness of night. He arranged the situation of the Bhumandala for the welfare of the people, so that there were divisions and borders for each dvipa by means of rivers, mountains, and forests. He arranged the Bhumandala with islands and made boundaries by rivers and mountains for the happiness of the leaders of the people, so they could exist without quarreling. If the boundary is a natural boundary which cannot be crossed easily, the leaders of this kingdom and that kingdom will exist peacefully. Otherwise, they always want to encroach others' property. So that's why the boundary should always, the border should be strong, so that one does not want to go from this place to other place. So something like that. So Priyavrata, by creating the big oceans, he created natural boundaries between 2 kingdoms, so that the leaders can live peacefully. So the citizens in the kingdom also can live peacefully. That was the whole idea with which the boundaries are made wherever we see. So it's like that. So why Priyavrata Maharaj divided the Bhumandala into 7 only? So here Priyavrata Maharaj descendants are mentioned. Priyavrata had 2 wives. Parishmati was the first wife, daughter of Vishwakarma. He had another wife whose name is not mentioned. But through Parishmati, he begot 10 sons and 1 daughter. Her name is Urjaswati, and she was given in marriage to Shukracharya. And Shukracharya begot Devayani through Urjaswati. That is, these details are mentioned in the 9th canto. And of the 10 sons, they have been sent to Gurukul. Of the 10, 3 remained in the Gurukul only, wanted to become brahmacharis, eventually Paramasa sannyasis, Kavi, Mahavira, and Savana. And 3 remained in the ashram, and 7 came back home, Agnidra, Idmajiva, Agnibahu, and they became the rulers of 7 islands of the Bhumandala. So 7 sons wanted to continue as the Kshatriyas. He divided the kingdom into 7 divisions and gave them to his 7 sons. And through another wife, he had 3 sons. And these people wanted to become the Manus for the future Manus. So they became 3rd, 4th, and 5th Manus. Uttama became the 3rd Manu, Tamasa became 4th Manu, and Raivata became the 5th Manu. So these are the details of his descendants, which are mentioned in the first chapter 23 to 29 verses. So that was all about how and why Priyavrata Maharaj divided the Bhumandala into 7 divisions by creating 7 concentric oceans. That was from first chapter. And now let us get into what is this? 16th chapter. So in the 16th chapter, starting from 16th chapter all the way up to 19th chapter, there is a discussion about Jambudvipa. Jambudvipa was the first and innermost island, as you see in the picture, if you remember. So this is Jambudvipa. This Jambudvipa is discussed elaborately for the next 4 chapters, and remaining 6 Dvipas are presented in the 20th chapter. So before getting into Jambu Dvipa, let us quickly take some questions if devotees have based on what we have discussed till now. So in chat box, one devotee is writing. So for only 1 year, there was brightness around the Bhumandala for 24 hours throughout. Not for 1 year, the brightness was there 24 hours throughout the Bhumandala as long as Priyavrata Maharaj was ruling for 25 Chaturyugas during Swayambhuva Manvantara period. When he completed his tenure, when he gave the responsibility to, after dividing this into 7 and gave the responsibility to 7 sons, and he stopped traveling as the second son. Then again, the 12 hours day, 12 hours night resumed once again. So it is like that.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
So what is this 0.5x and x of the Jambudvip? Could you please explain again? I did not understand.
See, you understand diameter and radius?
Yeah, that I understood.
What is diameter?
End to end
End to end of what?
of that Dvipa or ocean.
End to end of a circle. From one side of the circle to other side of the circle.
Hmm.
Okay, radius means?
From the center to end.
Center to the outer boundary. So, the width or the diameter of Jambudvipa
X.
is X. From here to here it is X. And the width of saltwater ocean that has been created by the first chariot wheel was also X.
Hmm.
So if we want to measure the total radius of the Bhumandala, we need to take measurement from the center of Mount Meru or center of Jambudvipa. The total diameter of Jambudvipa is X. The radius would be
0.5x.
half X. And the width of the saltwater ocean is X. And
Yes.
the width of second Dvipa is 2X. Second ocean is 2X. Third Dvipa is 4X. Third ocean is 4X. Like that continues. So
Clear.
it can be.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Correct. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, about the life of Priyavrata Maharaj, you were saying that he had a very long life. So one question.
61 Chaturyugas.
Yes, Prabhuji. So
Hmm.
earlier we see Daksha also.
Ah.
He has a very long life. He performed austerities for many Manvantaras also.
Yes, yes.
So, so these extraordinary personalities, like we hear that in every Manvantara, the Manuputras and those 6 entities change.
Yes.
So my question is, Prabhuji, like the personalities like these Daksha and Priyavrata, they live beyond one Manvantara, but they don't rule. Is it like that?
No, Daksha is Prajapati. He is the son of Lord Brahma. He is like Narada Muni, Vasishta, Pulaha, Kratu, Angira, Bhrugu, etc. All these personalities who appear directly from Brahma, they live as long as Lord Brahma for 100 years of Lord Brahma. Their lifespan is 100 years of Lord Brahma.
Okay, full 100 years they live. All the
Yeah, for 100. Every day of Brahma, they keep manifesting and they performing as they assisting Lord Brahma in his various activities. So in the creation, maintenance, etc. And Priyavrata is a human being, is a ruler, and he lived for 61 Chaturyugas, then he went back to Godhead. So it is like that.
You said, Prabhuji, they live means what? Means they don't go back to Godhead, but they have different bodies.
So I'll give you one example. Where did you study from 1 to 10th class? In one school only or different school?
Different schools.
Can you tell me in which school you studied, from which standard to which standard?
First to 6th standard in
one school. No, didn't tell me the names. And 7 to 10 in another school.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. So when you joined in the first primary school, 1 to 6th standard, you had certain teachers.
Yes, Prabhuji.
You joined there, you completed 6 years of study, you went to higher high school, but the teachers remain there only.
Correct.
Students come and go, but teachers remain there only.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
This Daksha, Bhrugu, Pulaha, Kratu, Vasishta, Narada, 4 Kumaras, they are all teachers. They are teaching us Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. They remain here in this material world. But living entities like you and me come and go. Take studies, join the school, study and go, leave the school.
Okay.
But the teacher remains here. All these great personalities who are assisting Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu, They remain here in this universe for the entire tenure of the universe's manifestation. They are not conditioned souls. They are all teachers. The Brahma's 9 Manasaputras are teaching Nishkama Karma Yoga. The 4 Kumaras are teaching Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga. Narada Muni is teaching Bhakti Yoga. Their lifespan is 100 years of Lord Brahma.
These are about only the Brahma's Putras, only the direct sons,
Yes, direct sense.
not beyond that.
I don't know, but those who are in that position, whoever the teacher, they will stay like that long.
Yes, and one more question to you about demigods also. They have certain ruling period, but they live beyond that.
And no, if they want, they can live. But after ruling over one Manvantara period, because they have done such a nice, wonderful devotional service, they will go back home back to Godhead. Unless until they want to continue. Like a teacher also has a retirement period, 60 years. But if the teacher want to continue to teach for 2-3 more years, the management becomes more happy.
Yes.
So it's voluntary. Beyond that is voluntary.
Yeah, means basically their life is not only for their ruling period. They can live beyond that. Like generally
Yes,
one mantra they rule.
yeah.
And Prabhuji, in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Jeev Goswami commentary, it is written that 7 Bhanu Maharaj has translated that 7 chariots were there, and that's why Bhagavatam mentions it as the number 7. But you mentioned it is only one chariot. So is it mentioned?
See, Prabhuji, I also mentioned 7. One chariot only, but every time it is becoming double. एक मतलब एक ही साइज रहना चाहिए. Because size is varying, so they are seen as 7. Are you getting?
Yes.
Every time when the chariot is going out, it is becoming double. अभी पहला चैरेट का डायमीटर था 1 मीटर, नाउ अभी 2 मीटर हो गया है. 1 मीटर कैसे 2 हो सकता है? 1 मीटर एक चैरेट है, 2 मीटर 2 चैरेट है, ऐसा मानते हैं हम. It is like that.
Prabhuji, I understand what you are saying, that he had 7 different size of chariots. That's why Bhagavata is mentioning as 7 chariots. But when I read here, it is said that he had the power of yoga by which he had 7 different chariots. Means
Yes,
it is
Prabhu,
saying that
7
he
different
had
chariot
7
only. The
different
one chariot only,
chariots at the same
he
time,
himself
and
expanded
it
into
happened
double.
only in 7 days.
No. Did you follow what we are discussing?
He has written because of the 7 oceans.
So, Prabhuji, don't worry, all those things.
It happened in 7 days.
There could be some corrections here and there, but he traveled in each chariot for 26 days. This is entirely taken from Chakravarti's commentary and also Jiva Goswami's commentary also. Since Tatsundarbha it is there, and not Tatsundarbha, in the Paramat Sundarbha it is there. So don't worry about all those things. You don't read now. You just listen to us.
Okay.
You can correct it later. It cannot be one day. If it is one day, 7 days only pura ho jayega. Then this is the entire subject matter depends on the formation of seasons, the sun's movement also. The one day does not applicable to it. So if you literally trying to see, you will not able to see everything. The bigger picture will not work. So it is like that.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, this when do the living entities start living on Bhumandala? In a sense, like in the Vaivasvat Manu, we hear they were there in the upper planetary system and ruling from there. But something like from Ishwaku, he came on Earth and he started ruling. So what exactly happens?
Human beings and a category of superhuman beings are always living on the Bhumandala, starting from the beginning of Swayambhu Manvantara, and they will continue to live there till the end of the 14th Manvantara.
Okay.
Where what kind of people will live, we'll understand in the 17th and 18th chapter. That time we'll get more clarity, 17th and 19th chapter. But for now, Bhumandala, people are living always throughout the day of Brahma.
And this Bharat Maharaj also living for a very long period.
We will discuss later on. Yes. The great personalities can live long period. Even when Mahabharat battle was happening, Bhishma's lifespan was 480 years. Yeah.
Okay.
They can live. No problem.
Thank you.
So, one question from chat box. Lomas Rishi lives longer than Brahma. When Brahma dies, his hair falls and leaves as many hairs he has on his body. Can you tell where he lives? I don't know, Prabhuji. I also heard that Lomas Rishi has a lot of lifespan, but where he lives and how it is, I don't know. Any other questions from any other devotees? You are able to follow how it all happened by Priyat Maharaj and dividing the Bhumandala?
Yes, so I just wanted to clarify one point, that basically the reason we are hearing all this detailed description of universe is only to understand the consciousness of the people living in different tracks of universe.
Okay, Prabhuji, different approaches, different devotees have different way of looking at it. See, one thing is, since it is there in the Bhagavatam, as a Bhakti Vaibhav student, we are supposed to study every chapter systematically. That should be our approach. Whether it is for consciousness point of view, whether it is from geography point of view, whether it is from prayers point of view, whether it is from Krishna consciousness point of view, whatever it may be, just because we are all Bhakti Vaibhav students, we need to study every chapter, every verse, every line, every sentence, every word. That is the requirement of Bhakti Vaibhav. So keep that in mind. It's okay.
Yes,
The
Prabhuji.
other motives can be many things. That is in subject to individual.
Correct. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, Broji?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us study once from the beginning to end. There is no loss. Neha Vikramanashosi Pratyavayana Vidyate. So it's like that. Don't worry. So every person has their different way of approaching things, and you can approach from the consciousness point of view. I may approach from geography point of view. Somebody else may approach from bhakti point of view. It's all subjected to individual. Everything can be accomplished in this study. No issue. So one more question in the chat box. So many personalities live so long, but why only few are mentioned as Chiranjeevi? So there is a concept called Amara. Amara means those who live for one Manvantara period. They are called Amara. Devatas are called Amaras because their lifespan is at least one Manvantara. And those who can live for one day of Brahma, they are called as Chiranjeevi. Because the entire creation stays in an intact way for the entire day of Brahma. At the end of the day of Brahma, all the 14 planet systems are destroyed by Lord Shiva's glance. So for the entire night, which is another 1000 Chaturyugas, there was nothing. In the next day, again, everything is recreated by Brahma and maintained by Vishnu, and again, it will be annihilated by Lord Shiva at the end of the day. So whoever, those people, whoever can live all the way up to the entire day of Brahma is called as Chiranjeevi. So it is that is the understanding. Okay, we can move on, Prabhuji. So now we'll come to 16th chapter, which will talk about Jambudvipa. Here, this is the first and innermost island. Here we'll get to see about rivers of mango and rivers of jamun fruit, rivers of honey, and golden mountains, silver mountains, diamond mountains. All these things will be discussed in this section of Bhagavatam. So now, the Jambudvipa is the innermost island, which is also like the circular thing. So in the 5th and 6th verses, Sukadeva Goswami says that the entire Bhumandala, as you see from the top, it appears to be like a lotus flower. As you look from the top, the Bhumandala appears to be like a lotus flower. The picture of the lotus flower will become very clear when we discuss in 20th chapter. Kindly remember this line. We will again reiterate in the 20th chapter when we come there. The entire Bhumandala looks like a lotus flower. And the 7 islands which were created by Prabhupada Maharaj, they resemble the 7 coverings of the lotus flower. And Jambudvipa, which is the middlemost island, which resembles the whorl of the lotus flower, whose width is 100,000 yojanas. Yova ayam dvipa kuvalaya kamala kosha bhyantara kosho niyuta yojana vishala. Sahasra means 1000. Ayuta means 10,000. Niyuta means 100,000. So kosha bhyantara kosho means Among the multi-layered lotus flower, the middle portion is called Jambudipa, and that width of that Jambudipa is Nita Yojana, that is 100,000 yojanas. Samavartulo yata Pushkara Patram. The Jambudipa is like Samavartulo, Samavrutam, perfect circle, like Pushkara Patram, like the lotus leaf. The Jambudipa is also like Pushkara Patram. The entire Bhumandala also like a Pushkara Patram. That's why from the very beginning we are treating the Bhumandala to be a lotus leaf. So it's like that. So this is not exactly lotus, but some flower which has got multiple petals arranged in multiple circular orders. It's like that. This outer order of the petals are compared to the outer island and outer ocean. Then another one inner order petals. There's sixth island, sixth ocean, fifth island, fifth ocean, fourth, third, second. The middle portion is compared to the Jambudipa. So when you look from the top, initially we showed the image of the perfect circular lotus leaf, which is in green color. But Bhagavatam says that with all divisions, subdivisions, it looks like a lotus flower consisting of multiple petals arranged in different circular coverings. And that the picture of the lotus becomes more clear in the 20th chapter. That time we will again refer to it. So these are the divisions. So one circular ring is corresponding to one outer island and oceans. So something like that. So this is the picture that we get to see from the top when you see the Bhumandala. So like that, Bhagavatam gives a analogy or example, so that we can, okay, it could be like this we can understand. So these are another pictures of the entire Bhumandala with the different divisions, etc. Some close up. So this is the Dvipa land portion, this is the ocean. So different ocean. This is Kshirosagar, not Kshirosagar. This is like kya bolte? Sweet sugarcane juice. This saltwater ocean blue. So this is the lotus flower. This is the entire Bhumandala. This is the oral of the Bhumandala. This oral of the Bhumandala is compared to the Jambudipa. In the middle of the Bhumandala, we have the pericap. This pericap is compared to the Mount Meru, which is located in the middle of the lotus flower or middle of the Jambudipa. This is compared to Mount Meru. This oral is compared to the Jambudipa, and remaining petals are compared to the remaining islands of the Bhumandala. So Jambudipa, which is compared to the oral of the lotus, is round like a lotus leaf. Samavartulo yata Pushkara Patram. Not lotus petal, lotus leaf. Both are different. Lotus leaf is different from lotus petal. Lotus leaf is always circular. So in that way. And its length or breadth or diameter, it is Niyuta Yojana Vishala, 0.1 million yojanas or 1 lakh yojanas. And within this Jambudipa, there are 9 divisions, which are called 9 Varshas. The width of each division is 9,000 yojanas. And the Jambudipa has been divided into 9 divisions by 8 boundary mountains. And the 9 Varshas are ruled by 9 sons of Agnidra. Agnidra was the eldest son of Priyavrata, and he was given the innermost island. And he himself had 9 sons, and he had the Jambudvipa divided into 9 parts, and he gave those 9 parts to his 9 sons. And among the 9 Varshas, the middle Varsha, which is located in the middle of the Jambudvipa, is known as Ilavrta Varsha. In the middle of this Ilavrta Varsha, we have Mount Sumeru or Mount Meru. That is located exactly in the middle of Jambudvipa, in the middle of Ilavrta Varsha. And which is looking like a pericap of the lotus-like Bhumandala. The Mount Meru is like the pericap, Jambudvipa is like the oral, and the remaining islands are like the circular coverings of the petals, and the entire Bhumandala looks like a lotus flower. This is the picture is given in the Bhagavatam, so that we can conceive, it could be like this, it could be like this. That was the whole idea. So this is the pericap. So this is the picture of the Jambudvipa. The total width of Jambudipa from here to here, it is 1 lakh yojanas. The diameter from here to here is 1 lakh yojanas. And in the middle, we have Mount Meru. Since the Mount Meru is said to be like pericap, even if you see in the market, the lotus flower has a pericap, which is small at the bottom, it becomes bigger and bigger on the top. Similarly, Mount Meru is small at the bottom, and it is, as you go upward, it is becoming bigger and bigger. Generally, mountains are like this. If this is the surface of the earth, the mountain will be like this. At the base, it is very wide. As you go to the top, it becomes smaller and smaller. But Mount Meru is in the opposite side. So at the base, its width is 16,000 yojanas. On the top, its width is 32,000 yojanas. It is twice to the width of the base. And the height of Mount Meru above the surface of Jambudipa is 84,000 yojanas. And the mountain goes deeper into the Bhumandala, deeper into Jambudipa, to a depth of 16,000 yojanas. The total height of the Jambudipa is 84,000 yojanas plus 16,000 yojanas, 1 lakh yojanas, which is the diameter of the Bhumandala. Whatever the diameter of the Bhumandala, that is the height of the Mount Meru. In Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, Vibhuti Yoga, Lord Krishna says, Stavaranam Himalaya. Among the heavy and fixed mountains, I am Himalaya. And Meru Shikarina Maham. Among the high peaked mountains, I am the Meru. Because of all the mountains that are there in our entire universe, Meru is the tallest mountain, whose height is 84,000 yojanas. There is no other mountain which is taller than this. So that's why Lord compares his Vibhuti with Mount Meru mountain. That's why the color also put it as golden color. So this is like isometric view of the Jambudipa. Now let us see the top view. In the top view, we are only taking the base of the Mount Meru. At the base, its width is 16,000 yojanas. To the north of Mount Meru, there are 3 mountains. So this now, the entire Jambudipa is like one homogeneous tract of land. But here there are 3 mountains known as Neela, Shweta, Shringavan. As a result, we have 3 Varshas. Brahmika Varsha, Hiranyamaya Varsha and Kuru Varsha. The width of this Varsha from here to here, 9,000 yojanas. Here to here, 9,000. Here to the top, the outer point, 9,000. The width of the mountain from here to here it is 2,000 yojanas. And the height of these mountains, the 3 mountains height is 10,000 yojanas. 1 yojana is 13 kilometers. The width is 26,000 kilometers. From here to here it is 26,000 kilometers. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, the total distance of India is 3,000 and odd kilometers. Not more than that. But here we are talking about a mountain whose width is 26,000 kilometers and height is 1,30,000 kilometers. These are the dimensions of the mountains. And the width of this Rameka Varsha 9,000 kilometers, 9 into 13. So whatever that number comes, so that would be the distance. 117,000 kilometers, 1,17,000 kilometers, something like that. That is the width of the Rameka Varsha and Hiranyamaya Varsha and Kuru Varsha. So these 3 mountains and these 3 Varshas are there on the northern side of the Mount Meru. And on the southern side of Mount Meru, also 3 more Varshas are there. 3 more mountains, Nishada, Hemakuta, Himalaya, and Harivarsha, Kimpurusha Varsha, and Bharata Varsha. These are 3 Varshas are located here. The Himalaya mountains are here. The width is 2,000 yojanas. The height is 10,000 yojanas. The length is according to the geometry. You know the mathematics, you can calculate. The radius is 50,000 yojanas. And you know the other distance also, you can calculate. To the east and west of Mount Meru, there are 2 mountains, Gandhamadana and Malevan. The Gandhamadana width is 2,000 yojanas. Height is 10,000 yojanas. Malevan also same. And here we have 3 Varshas. Ketumala Varsha, Bhadrasha Varsha, Ilavrta Varsha. The dimensions of Ilavrta Varsha from here to here and here to here are 34,000 yojanas by 34,000 yojanas. It is a square type of arrangement. From here to here 34, here to here 34. And Bhadrashva and Ketumala also here to here 34, here to here 34. And from here to here total it is 100,000 yojanas. Here to here 34, and this is 2, this is 2. 34 plus 2 plus 2, 38. 61. 61 divided by 2, 30. 62 divided by 2, 31. From here to here, 31,000 yojanas. Here to here, 31,000 yojanas. So these are the dimensions of these different varshas that are available in the Jambudipa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Total, there are 9 varshas and total 9 mountains. There are 3 on the north side, 3 on the south side, 1 in the east, 1 in the west, 1 in the middle. 3 plus in the middle 3. So total 9 mountains, 9 varshas. This is east, west, south, and north. So now, and this entire Jambudipa is surrounded by saltwater ocean. The blue one is saltwater ocean. Srila Sukadeva Goswami presenting Bhagavatam to Srila Parikshit Maharaj.
Krishna Prabhuji.
One second. The discussion is happening on the bank of Ganga, very close to Hastinapur, at a place known as Shukatal. Even today also people go there and what you can say?
Last 5 minutes we could not hear because of some problem here.
Okay. I'm sorry. So basically we were discussing that. So now Jambudipa is like one homogeneous tract of land. In the middle we have Mount Meru, whose width is 16,000 yojanas. To the north of Mount Meru we have 3 mountains, dividing the Jambudipa into 3 varshas. These are the Neela, Shweta, Shringavan, Rameka, Hiranmaya, and Kuru varshas. And the width of the varshas is 9,000 yojanas. From here to here, 9,000 yojanas, here to here, 9,000, here to here, 9,000. The width of each mountain is 2,000 yojanas. Here 2,000, 2,000. The height of the mountain is 10,000 yojanas. So 2,000 means 26,000 kilometers. 10,000 means 1,30,000 kilometers. And 9,000 means 1,17,000 kilometers. These are the dimensions about which we are talking. Just like in the north side, there are 3 mountains. Similarly, in the south also, there are 3 more mountains known as Nishada, Hemakuta, and Himalaya. And we have 3 varshas: Harivarsha, Kimpurusha Varsha, and Bharata Varsha. To the east of Mount Meru, there is Gandhamadana. To the west of Mount Meru, there is Malevan. They also have same dimensions. Width is 2,000 yojanas, height is 10,000 yojanas, 2,000 and 10,000. And we have 3 varshas: Ketumala, Ilaurta, and Bhadrashva. So now you see, from here to here, 9,000 plus 2,000, 9,000 plus 2,000, 9,000 plus 2,000. 9 plus 2, 11. 11 into 3, 33. 11 into 3, 33. 33 plus 33, 66. The total width of Jambudipa from here to here or here to here, it is 100,000. So 100,000 minus 66,000. What remains is 34,000. So from here to here, it is 34,000. Since Ilavrta is square, and here to here also 34,000. And Gandhamadana 2, Malevan 2. 34 plus 2 plus 2, 38. 100 minus 38. That remains is 62. 62 by 2, 31. Bhadrashva from here to here 31. Ketumala from here to here is 31. So these are the dimensions of the different divisions in Jambudipa. So these are about different. In total, we have 9 varshas and 9 mountains, including Mount Meru. These are the different divisions of Jambudipa. So now, Sukadeva Goswami, who was discussing the Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj at a place known as Shukatal on the bank of Ganga, he is telling to the east, to this side of the Meru is called east, this side of the Meru is called west, to the south of Meru are 3 varshas, to the north of Meru are 3 varshas, etc. So how do we correlate with the nomenclature of east, west, north, south that we daily talk about? So this is the entire universe with which we started from the beginning. The bottom side of the universe, that means down below the Bhumandala, the location where Garbhodaksha Vishnu is situated, that is actually called as true south. the upper portion of the universe, which is going towards Satyaloka, where Brahmaji is situated on top of the lotus flower, that is called true north. Since in the Bhumandala, there are so many divisions. And in the beginning, we were discussing that just above the surface of the Bhumandala, the sun is traveling day in, day out in the circular fashion. So like this, every day he makes one round. Sun starting from here and going around and coming back here is called one complete day. Sun is traveling on the horizontal plane, which is called Bhumandala, which is located perpendicular to true north and true south. Above the plane surface of the Bhumandala is called north or true north. Below the plane surface of the Bhumandala is called true south. But in the previous picture, we were talking about Jambudipa. This inside portion is called Jambudipa, the circular portion. And within that Jambudipa, we have the 9 Varshas. See, if this place is nothing but Jambudipa, this Jambudipa, as we look from the top. So this side Bharata Varsha is there, this side Uttara Kuru Varsha is there, this side Bhadrashu Varsha, this side Ketumala Varsha. But Sukadeva Goswami calling this as east, this as west, this Bharata Varsha in the south side, this Kuru Varsha is on the north side. That means in this picture, here where Bharata Varsha is there, this side it is called south. Sukadeva Goswami calling it as south. And here where Uttara Kuru Varsha is there, this side is calling as north. And this side is calling east, this side is calling west. Here Bhadrashu Varsha is there, here Ketumala Varsha is there, is calling like that. So since sun is traveling like this, the entire discussion is based on the location where Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami are situated, that is Sukatal on the bank of Ganga. For Sukadeva Goswami, for Sukatal, this side is called east, this side is called west, and he is calling this direction as south and this direction as north. So, but here we have something called true north and something called true south also. So what is the understanding? The south, which Sukadeva Goswami is talking about, is the direction of the midday sun. Whichever is the direction where we observe the midday sun is situated, that is called by Sukadeva Goswami as south. For example, in this room, all of you can see me, I hope. So this, the direction in the front, we see every day sun is rising. This side, we see sun is setting every day. And we call this is south. And we call this side is north. So for as far as my experience is concerned from Himachal Pradesh, and according to your experience is concerned from Pune, so this is actually true north. This is actually true south. If you go toward this side, even if you look in the night time this side, we see Dhruva Nakshatra, the Dhruva Tara. The Dhruva Tara is located toward the north. Dhruva Tara is the topmost point of Swargaloka. The Dhruva Tara, where the place where Dhruva Tara is located, that is where Swargaloka ends. And above Dhruva Tara, Maharloka begins. So the Dhruva Tara is located here, somewhere here, where the stem is joining the lotus flower. We can take like the joining portion is the location of Dhruva Tara. The direction toward Dhruva Tara is the true north. So this side is true north. Opposite to that is true south. And here sun is rising in the morning, east. Here sun is setting in the evening, west. And the south, which Sukadeva Goswami calling, is the direction of midday sun. Midday we see sun here above my head. This is the south. And the north is direction of the midnight sun. The midnight sun will be below our feet. That is the south. So Sukadeva Goswami introduces apparent north and apparent south in order to explain the geography of Jambudipa. So like that we have to understand. If you take the south and north told by Sukadeva Goswami equal to true north and true south, the further details mentioned in the Bhagavatam does not holds good. We cannot keep them in the proper perspective. So it is like that. So for some of you, it may look a little technical, but this becomes more clear when we come to 19th chapter. In the 19th chapter, we will talk about Bharata Varsha in detail. That time it becomes more clear. So the same picture will again come in the 19th chapter. So for now, you just see it and try to correlate, try to understand it. So like that. So right now, so before going further, any questions devotees have? Hare Krishna. Devotees have any questions?
Prabhuji, one question.
Yes, Prabhu. Who is speaking?
Hare Krishna. Am I audible, bro?
Yes, Prabhu, you are audible but not clear.
Hare Krishna. Which is our north now? Henceforth in the discussion in 19th chapter. Not the true north and true south. No?
The true north is towards the direction we see pole star or Dhruvatara to my left hand side. That which we call north. Every day we call north, that is actually true north. And every day we call south, that is a true south. And here I see midday sun. So this is the south which Sukadeva Goswami using here. And down below our feet, that is called by Sukadeva Goswami at the north.
So we'll
That
be
direction is called north.
This is how we'll be referring to now.
Yes, yes. So I'll tell you how it is. So this is the plane of the Bhumandala. So according to Bhagavatam, the sun is traveling above the Bhumandala in a circular fashion. Yes? Sun is traveling like this. So sun is supposed to travel on the plane of the Bhumandala like this. But okay, then the true north is upper side of the Bhumandala. The true south is the bottom side of the Bhumandala. But for our daily experience, we see sun is rising here, going here in the midday, and sun is setting here and going below the earth in the midnight, again rising in the next morning. So the Bhumandala is actually like this. As far as our experience, the Bhumandala like this. The sun is rising here in the eastern direction. This is east, and this is the midday sun. This is sun is setting and is going below in the midnight, night 12 p.m. and again tomorrow morning rising here. And this direction is the true north. This is what we call north. And this direction the true south. This is what we call south. So it is like that. So for us, based on our current experience, the Bhumandala is situated like this. The universe is like this. This side is the true north direction. This is the true south direction. So it is like that. So this side is a midday sun. Na? So if this is east, this is the midday sun. So whatever is there in this side, they are said to be on the south side of the Mount Meru. Hari Varsha, Kimpurusha Varsha, and Bharata Varsha, etc. So it is like that. Okay. Anyone else have any question? Unless until you ask me some question, I don't understand whether you are understanding or not.
One more question, Prabhuji.
Yes, bro.
Prabhuji, this why we are what is the need means I mean to say why
See,
this
Prabhu,
studying of directions is there? Two understandings.
your voice is not clear.
Prabhuji, am I audible now?
You are audible, but it is not clear.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, am I audible now?
Yeah, you are very clear. Yes.
Prabhuji, why these two types of understandings have been given about directions?
It is not, it is only one type of understanding. It is not two types. So generally, because Sukadeva Goswami is only telling north and south, we may get confused with this north and south with the north and south which we generally use. It is not like that. Because Sukadeva Goswami talking about the divisions of Jambudvipa, which is a plane structure, which is parallel to the plane of the sun's orbit. The actual north, that is true north and true south, is perpendicular to the plane of the sun's orbit. So how can you take them together? So it is like that.
Yes, Prabhuji.
We are dealing with a 3D universe, not a 2D plane universe. So we need to have 6 directions.
Basically, you are saying, Prabhuji, we are standing parallel to Bhumandala.
Yes, perfect. How it is that Landal will be clear in the 19th chapter. Till then you have to wait. That time you will get more clear understanding.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, it's north and south for each place, it becomes different in that sense. And what?
Yes. That's why I said this north and south are with respect to Shukatal, where Sukadeva Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj.
Okay, that's not fixed.
The east, west, north, south are only with respect to Shukatal, where the discussion is going on.
Yeah.
The true north and true south are permanent directions. They don't change. They are eternal directions.
Okay.
Perfect. You got it. Okay. Other devotees, any questions? In the chart box, there is also true east and true west. No, there won't be anything called as true east or true west. East, west, north, south, the apparent north, apparent south are with respect to the location where we are. They keep changing. Whatever east for Indians will be west for Americans. It will change. Only the true north and true south are eternal. So remaining all will change.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji was describing about this horizontal plane of the Jambu Dweep, I mean to say Bhumandala, and then
Bhumandala
while
and Jambudipa.
yeah, and while giving the explanation of true south and true north with the help of the platform, what you hold in the hand, that book or something. So in between, it was put horizontal. Maybe I think it will come in 19th chapter more better way.
Yeah. See, as with respect to this picture, the Bhumandala is like this. You are able to see me in my video. So
Yes.
Bhumandala like this, and sun is traveling like this. Okay. So this is a 3D picture of the universe as it is. But for me, Pavaneshwar Das, situated in Himachal Pradesh, today at so and so time, I see sun is rising here in the morning, sun is setting here. Sun is setting here, noontime sun is here, and midnight sun is below, like this, is going like this. So with respect to Bhumandala, if sun is traveling like this, I am somewhere in the middle of the Bhumandala. So I see sun traveling like this. So this is my experience. So with respect to me, the Bhumandala is like this. The true north is this side, and every day I call this side, this direction as north only.
Yes.
I am not illusioned with respect to north.
Yes.
And this is the true south, which I am calling as south. But Sukadeva Goswami talking about Jambudipa, which is there on the surface of the Bhumandala, part of the surface of the Bhumandala. And here he dividing the Bhumandala into 4 parts. And one part is calling east, that is on the eastern side. One part is calling as west, that is the western side. And this side is calling as south, this side is calling as north.
Yes.
But this is south is not the true south.
Yes.
This north is not the true north.
Yes.
This is apparent south and apparent north. The apparent south is the location which is located towards midday sun direction.
Yes.
The apparent north is the direction of midnight sun. So like that.
Yes.
So many times here only we get confused. ये साउथ नॉर्थ बोल रहे और साउथ नॉर्थ ये तो इधर इधर है भूमंडल कैसे है और जम्बूदीपा कैसे that's why many say that the Bhumandala is also spherical, the Jambudipa is also spherical, to include the north south understanding in that. So they come up with that kind of conclusion saying that the entire Bhumandala is spherical because Bhagavatam is talking about north and south. It is like that.
So what is the thing, Prabhuji? It's spherical or it's flat? Matlab, because you raised the thing in the question. That's why I'm asking you.
What do you see in the picture?
Horizontal, flat.
Flat only. So whatever pictures you see, that is my opinion. That is my understanding of reading Bhagavatam. Okay, whatever pictures you see in our presentations, that is our understanding.
One more curiosity was there, Pradeep, from Matlab, is that the earth, the surface of the earth is kind of a sphere, and everybody looks.
Wait. We don't use English terms. We are not talking about earth. We are just now introduced about the Bhumandala and Jambudipa. We had to go into so many subdivisions. Everything becomes clear in the 19th chapter. Don't try to correlate what you know. Let us study Bhagavatam. First, let us allow Bhagavatam to reveal what it is talking about. Then we can correlate with what we know from the school studies and all.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So kindly do not make that mistake of comparing what we know and what we are studying here. With a quite open mind, let us study Bhagavatam.
Yes, Prabhuji.
As a new layman. So like that.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay. If other devotees have no questions, we move on. So this is the picture of entire Jambudipa, surrounded by saltwater ocean. These are another pictures which are showing the mountains. These are the 9 mountains. This is the Mount Meru, and this is Ilavrta Varsha and other Varshas. Same picture of Jambudipa with all the different divisions. And Vayu Purana gives the details of the picture of Jambudipa. How does it look like? Dhanurva Samsute Gneye, Dve Varshe Dakshinottare. 2 Varshas in the north and south are bow shaped. Kuru Varsha and Bharata Varsha, they are bow shaped. They look like a bow. Dirghani Tatra Chatvari. 4 Varshas are long. Hiranmaya, Ramyaka, Hari, and Kumpurusha. They are long Varshas. Chaturasram Ilavurtam. Ilavurta is the square. 2 other Varshas shaped like bows on end. Ketumala Varsha and Bhadrashu Varsha are bow-like at the end, but they are running horizontally and entering the sea. So this is the description of the entire Jambudipa as per Vayu Purana. So this gives an idea of the picture of Jambudipa. And these are the dimensions about which we already discussed. Same picture. Siddhanta Shiromani, Srila Prabhupada quotes in Chaitanya Charitamrita 20th chapter 218. In the purport, it says that there are 9 kandas or 9 varshas within Jambudipa. And they are known as Bharata, Kinnara, Hari, Kuru, Hiranmaya, Ramyaka, Ilavruta, Bhadrashva, and Ketmala. These are different parts of Jambudipa. A valley between 2 mountains is called as a khanda or varsha. So this is from Siddhanta Shiromani. So I'm putting all these references just to show that there is a consistency among various Vedic literatures. It is not that this Shastra says something, that Shastra says something, and everyone is speaking differently and we are confused. Not like that. Every Shastra is talking about the same universe and talking about same thing. Sometimes the names may be different a little bit here and there, otherwise details are same only. And in this particular purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, there are so many mountains even on this earth, on our earth globe. We do not think that the measurements of all of them have actually been calculated. Srila Prabhupada gives an example. Mountains from Mexico to Caracas, we doubt whether their height, length, and breadth have been properly measured. Therefore, as indicated in Srimad Bhagavatam by Shukadeva Goswami, we should not try to comprehend the greater mountainous areas of the universe merely by our calculations. Shukadeva Goswami has already stated that such calculations would be very difficult even if one had a duration like that of Lord Brahma. We should simply be satisfied with the statements of authorities like Shukadeva Goswami and appreciate how the entire cosmos manifestation has been made possible by Lord's external energy. The measurements given herein, such as 10,000 yojanas or 100,000 yojanas or 84,000 yojanas of Mount Meru, should be considered correct because they have been given by Srila Shukadeva Goswami. Our experimental knowledge can neither verify nor disprove the statements of Srimad Bhagavatam. We should simply hear these statements from the authorities. If we can appreciate the extensive energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that will benefit us. So some people, when they hear these details talking about the width of the mountains are 2,000 yojanas, height 10,000 yojanas, Mount Meru width is 16,000 yojanas, and going to the height of 84,000 yojanas. What is this? Jambudipa is about 100,000 yojanas. What are you saying? All these things which are not impractical, beyond our comprehension. All these are all fairy tales like that. Many people dismiss. But Srila Prabhupada states in his purport that since authorities like Shukadeva Goswami is stating, we should accept them as correct and move on. Even though if we want to prove through our experimental findings, we cannot disprove them. So like that. I have given two references, how and why we should accept the statements of authorities like Sukadeva Goswami as correct and accurate. So in the recent history, at the beginning of the current Kali Yuga, there are two big gatherings took place. The first one on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, after the battle was over, wherein Bhishma Deva was speaking to Yudhishthir Maharaj elaborately on different subject matters for more than a month, in which Lord Krishna was personally present, and also all the great sages of the entire universe have come there. And Bhagavatam mentions about all their names. Who is who of the entire universe were present there? Parvatamuni, Narada, Daumya, Vyasa, Bhadrashva, Brihadashva, Bharadwaja, Parashurama, Vasishta, Indrapramada, Trisha, Gritapishta, Asita, Kashivan, Gautama, Ashri, Kaushika, Sharadvan, and personally like Sukadeva Goswami, Kashyapa, Angira, along with their disciples. Everyone was present in this assembly. And Bhishma spoke on so many subject matters, and everyone heard, they are happy. Same way, there was another such a great assembly when Parikshit Maharaj was doing Prayopavesha on the bank of Ganga, understanding that in 7 days he is going to die. Sukadeva Goswami came there and spoke Bhagavatam to him. So in that audience, we have all these great personalities. Atri, Chavana, Sharadvan, Arishtanemi, Bhrugu, Vasishta, Parashara, Vishwamitra, Angira, Parashurama, Uttaya, Indrapramada, Idmabahu, Medatiti, Devala, Arishtasena, Bharadwaja, Gautama, Maitreya, Pipalada, Aura, Kashava, Kumbayoni, Dvaipayana, and Brahmarshis, Devarshis, Rajarshis, etc. All these great personalities of the entire universe assembled there. If Sukadeva Goswami is speaking something out of his mere imagination or speculation, how would these great personalities like Narada, Vyasa, and Bhrugu, Vasishta, Pulaha, Kratu, and all would simply listen and accept it? They could have raised a question. Even Parikshit Maharaj could have raised a question. Since no one raised a question, that means they are all on the same agreement. They all knew about it. They all agree about it. But we, I think ourselves as so great than all these great personalities and say that how is it? Aisa kaise ho sakta hai? Sab fairy tales. We dismiss. So it's like that. So that gives the authority to all these details. Then in one of the previous part, Srila Prabhupada quotes Srila Madhvacharya, who quotes a verse from Brahmanda Purana, which says that Yata Bhagavate Uktam Bhavanam Kosha Lakshanam Tasya Virodato Yojjam Anya Grantantare Citam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the authoritative text which tells us about the cosmography, and information gathered from any other source should be explained in accordance with Srimad Bhagavatam. He said that Srimad Bhagavatam is the ultimate authority in the matter of cosmography. But the same Madhvacharya quoting Brahmanda Purana says that though everything is supposed to be accepted as the highest pramana in the Bhagavatam, but in the Bhagavatam there are two corrections. Mandode Puranam Cheva Vityasam Shirasagare Rahu Soma Ravinam Cha Mandala Digunoktitam Vinayva Sarva Munnayam Yojana Bedato Tatu. Except the following two corrections, rest all mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam should be considered as the highest authority. One is interchange at the location of Milk Ocean and the Curd Ocean. Bhagavatam says Milk Ocean is in the 5th position, Curd Ocean is in the 6th position. They should be interchanged. The Curd Ocean should be on the 5th, Milk Ocean should be on the 6th. And size of Rahu, Soma, and Ravi are placed to the next. The size of Rahu should be 2 times to the size of Soma. Size of Soma is 2 times to the size of Ravi. That should be considered. And these two will be mentioned in the later part of the Bhagavatam. When they come, we will discuss. Otherwise, rest all should be accepted as highest pramana. So like that. This is how the Acharyas have indicated us what is what. So this is the picture of Jambudvipa with all divisions surrounding our saltwater ocean. Mount Meru in the middle. After describing different divisions of Jambudvipa, different mountain, their details, then Bhagavatam talks about Ilavrita Varsha. This particular Ilavrita Varsha has been presented in detail. So within Ilavrita Varsha, surrounding Mount Meru, there are 4 mountains. Their length is 10,000 yojanas, height 10,000 yojanas, width 2,000 yojanas. On top of these 4 mountains, standing like flagstaffs, there are 4 trees. The dimensions of the trees are, the width of the trunk is 100 yojanas. The height of the tree is 1100 yojanas. And the branches starting from the trunk goes to a distance of 1100 yojanas. So these are the dimensions of the trees. Take for example, the trunk is 100 yojanas. Multiply it with 13, 1300 kilometers. From Bombay to Vijayawada, the central India, from Bombay we have the central line starting from Bombay going all the way up to Vijayawada, that is about 1300 kilometers. That much is the size of the trunk of the tree, which is located on top of this mountain. So it is like that. At the base of these 4 mountains, there are 4 huge lakes. And surrounding these 4 lakes, there are 4 celestial gardens. And in addition to these 4 mountains, there are 2 mountains on each side of Meru. And their dimensions are, the 2 mountains, length is 9000 each, width is 2000, height also 2000. So these are the details of the different mountains. In addition to these 4 mountains and 8 mountains, there are 20 Kesharachala mountains located all around Kilavrtavarsha. Their height is as high as Mount Meru. So like that. So this is Mount Meru. The 2 mountains are located in each side. They are known as Jatra, Devakuta, Trishunga, Makara, Pavana, Pariyartha, Kashka, Karavira, and Kailash. These are the 8 mountains on each direction. 2 to each direction. These are the 4 mountains which are in 4 directions of Mount Meru. Mandara, Meru, Mandara, Suparshva, Kumuda. On top of these 4 mountains, the 4 huge trees are there. And after them, there are 20 Kesharachala mountains. They are called as filament type of mountains or pencil type of mountains. It's like that. Here, after mentioning about these mountains, it is said that in the Bhagavatam, Etai Paristito Agnir, being the Mount Meru, being surrounded by these 8 mountains and also the other mountains, looks like a Yajnakund. The Kanchanagiri is the golden Mount Meru. With all these things, the entire Kilavrtavarsha appears to be like a nice Yajnakund. The mountain is compared to the fire. The first set of mountains are compared to the first set of walls, second set of mountains, and third set of mountains. Something like that. The entire Kilavrtavarsha resembles like a Yajnakunda. Like that, it is mentioned. So let us see. This is Mount Meru. In 4 directions, 4 mountains are there. On top of them, 4 trees are there. This is mango tree. This is jamun tree. This is kadamba tree. This is banyan tree. And at the base of this mountain, there is a lake surrounded by a garden. This lake is filled with milk. This lake is filled with honey. This lake is filled with sugarcane juice. This lake is filled with pure water. And this garden is Nandana. This is Chaitrarata, Vibrajata, Sarvato Bhadra. And the Devatas who are residing in this place, Devata-like beings, they come and sport in these lakes and gardens and they enjoy. And now, the mountain height is 10,000 yojanas. The plant tree, the mango tree height is 1100 yojanas. And the mango fruit which is there on top of this mountain, which is as big as a mountain peak, without seed and without skin. When the mango falls on the top of the tree, when it falls on the mountain and rolls down, the mango breaks open and flows like a mango river. That is called Arunoda river. That flows through the eastern side of the entire Kilavrtavarsha. And the Yaksha wives, the Yaksha ladies, when they drink this mango juice, their bodies become fragrant. That fragrance goes to a distance of 1 yojana or 10 yojanas, long distance. The perfume goes all the way. So that is the greatness. I mean, that is the nature of this mango juice river. It is a river of juice. And very soon we are also going to have mango fruits. So, but we may not be having juice river. But in Kilavrtavarsha, they have a mango juice river. Anyone can go and anytime and they can drink. And then here is the jamun fruit, whose size is as big as a great elephant. When this jamun fruit falls on the top of the tree, it breaks open and flows like a Jambunada river. The interesting thing is that on the both sides of the river, there is a lot of mud. When the mud is moistened by the Jambunada river and dried by sunlight and wind, okay, that sand is transformed into gold. And all the Yaksha ladies who are living nearby will take this gold and wear it as their ornaments. They transform the gold into ornaments and wear. They are natural. They have gold naturally on the bank of the river, and every day so much new gold is formed, because when the mud or sand is moistened by the Jambunada river and dried by the sunlight and wind, it transforms into gold. Free produce of gold, no dearth of the gold. It's like that. And this Kadamba tree has lot of Kadamba fruits filled with lot of nectar, and there are so many honeys, there are so many honeycombs, and they are filled with so much honey. The honey falls down, drips down and flows like the different river channels. There are 5 river channels, each a width of 40 meters, are there continuously flowing. And the people whoever drink the honey from these rivers, their mouth becomes so fragrant, it produces beautiful fragrance, and which goes to a distance of 100 yojanas. It's a long distance. So honey is profusely available here, no dearth of honey. And the important thing is that here is a banyan tree. This Saturday we were discussing about Bhagavad Gita chapter 15. That banyan tree has got so many secondary roots, and every second root is again reproduces itself into a another banyan tree. So like that, this banyan tree has got 100 roots. That means 100 banyan trees are there. From every root, there is a channel, the water channel. In one channel, there is milk. In one, there is yogurt. In one, there is honey, ghee, molasses, everything that we need. They are naturally available in the form of water canals. The people who are living in Ilavrta Varsha, they don't have to go to office for earning their livelihood. Whatever they need, everything is naturally available in the form of streams. They just have to go to those streams and collect and use directly. This is the kind of opulence that is available in Ilavrta Varsha. And next, the 8 mountains which are surrounding Mount Meru, the two are located in east side, Makaravira, Kailasha, Jatakuta, Jatra, Devakuta, etc. These are all there. And there are the 20 mountains surrounding and the outer boundary of the Ilavrta Varsha. They are like this. So this is the description of the different mountains and rivers, lakes, gardens within Ilavrta Varsha. So while describing this particular Shatavalsa banyan tree having hundreds of branches and having all the profuse supply of all the things that we need, so Prabhupada writes in the purport, the miserable conditions of this universe, of this material world, can be corrected by sufficient supply of milk, yogurt, honey, ghee, molasses, food grains, ornaments, bedding, sitting places, and so on. All these things are available in the form of streams in Ilavrta Varsha. Having all these things in profusion is called proper human civilization. Ample food grains can be produced through agricultural enterprises, and profuse supply of milk, yogurt, and ghee can be arranged through cow protection. Abundant honey can be obtained if the forests are protected. Unfortunately, in modern civilization, men are busy killing the cows that are the source of yogurt, milk, and ghee, cutting down all the trees that supply honey, opening factories to manufacture nuts and bolts, automobiles, and wine, instead of engaging in agriculture. Our prosperity depends upon agriculture, cow protection, and forest harvesting. Instead, we are doing all these things. That's why, how can the people be happy? They must suffer from all misery of materialism. This is not human civilization. If people actually want happiness in this life and want to prepare for the best in the next life, they must adopt a Vedic civilization where there is a full supply of all necessities mentioned above. So like that, if we have all these things, we can be prosperous, like that Prabhupada mentions. So this is the picture of Ilavrta Varsha. Mount Meru, two mountains surrounding Mount Meru, and 4 mountains, and above these 4 trees, and 20 Kesharachala mountains outside, and the 4 rivers. It's like that. This is the picture of the entire Jambudvipa with Ilavrta Varsha in middle. These are the pencil type of mountains. There are the 4 mountains inside. The 4 mountains, on top of that 4 trees are there. And there are the 8 mountains. The height of these mountains is 2000. These mountains is 10,000. These are 10,000. Height of these pencil type mountains is as high as our Mount Meru. So like that. These are the gardens and lakes, water bodies, rivers, etc. So the pencil type of mountain going to the height of Mount Meru. So now, if we cut Jambudipa here exactly in the middle, and we see from the front side, how does it look like? If we cut exactly in the middle and we go to the left hand side and look Jambudipa, how does it look like? Here in the picture. Sorry. So here we have Bhadrashva, this is Gandhamadana mountain, Malayan mountain. Here is Bhadrashva Varsha, Ketumala Varsha, and in the middle we have Ilavrata Varsha. And within Ilavrata Varsha, we have two mountains here. These mountains are made up of silver. Two mountains each side. Their height is 2000 yojanas only. They are made up of silver. And these mountains are 10,000 yojanas in height. They are made up of gold. And these mountains are as high as Mount Meru. They are made up of diamond. So like that. And then in the left hand side view, we have the three Varshas and three mountains. And these are silver mountain, golden mountain, diamond mountain. This is Ilavrata Varsha, Mount Meru and Ilavrata Varsha. These are the cross-sectional view of the Jambudipa from the front side and from the left hand side view. So actually we are already at 4 o'clock. I'll just cover 2 more verses which end this chapter. Then we'll close for today. So here we discussed about Mount Meru. At the base it is 16,000 yojanas. On top it is 32,000 yojanas. On the upper surface of the Mount Meru, there are 9 townships belonging to 9 devatas. In the middle there is the township of Brahma, which is known as Manavati. In all 8 directions there are 8 townships of 8 devatas. Indra, Samaravati, Agnis, Tejavati, Yamas, Samimani, Nivritis, Krishna, Gana, Varunas, Chadavati, Vayu, Ganavati, Kuveras, Mahodaya, Shivas, Yeshavati, like that. These are not their permanent places, but all these places are generally used for recreation purposes. Like in ISKCON, we have GBC meetings. In February, they happen in Mayapur. In October, they happen in different places, sometimes in Tirupati, sometimes in Bombay, here, there, etc. So like that, whenever Lord Brahma wanted to discuss about the universal management, he invites all the devatas to the top of Mount Meru. And Brahma stays here, and all the devatas will stay around. And they meet in Brahma's assembly, and they discuss about universal management. These are like recreation and also meetings places. So that is the purpose they use all these townships. They're not permanent residences, but they visit as and when they want to. So like that. And dimensions are Brahma's Manavati is 10,000 by 10,000, remaining all 2,500 by 2,500. So like that. You see, these are the townships. This is the picture. Like this, we can think of their town, their beautiful locations. It's like that. So we can assume their townships are like this, nice, pleasant places, etc. So this is all from 16th chapter. In tomorrow's class, we will discuss from 17th chapter. So today, basically, we discussed about introduction of this topic known as Thanam or Bhagavad cosmology. And then we discussed from first chapter that how Priyavrata Maharaj divided the Bhumandala into 7 divisions by creating 7 oceans. And then we discussed about Jambudipa, its subdivisions, 9 Varshas, 9 mountains, and specifically Ilavrata Varsha, different opulences, different mountains and other things we discussed. And top of Mount Meru, the townships of 9 principal devatas also we briefly saw. This is all from 16th chapter of 5th canto of Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
So question?
Yes, Prabhu. If some devotees have some couple of questions, we'll take quickly.
This 20 mountains you said they are made up of diamonds.
Yes.
And they are why are they called pencil mountains?
No, pencil mountains is I coined that term, pencil type of mountain. They are basically called as Kesharachala.
Okay.
Keshara means like eye-peaked mountains. So they look like pencil. Pencil small रहता है ना, लंबा रहता है, small रहता है, इसलिए मैं ऐसा बोला था.
Okay.
That is my term. That is my own term.
Okay. And in the verse of Madhvacharya that you quoted, I did not understand how this correction word is coming in the translation. Where is it exactly in the? It is there Anya Granthantare Sthitam, but I did not get it. Two corrections. Where is it mentioned in that shloka itself?
Yojana Bedato Atra. Yojana Beda. Yojana means arrangement or plan or understanding. Beda means difference.
Because in the explanation given by Prabhupada, that word correction is not there.
No,
But
Prabhupada only quotes the verses. It does not give the translation. These translations are from Bhugola Varnam.
From
Bhugola Varnam.
Bhugola Varnam. By
Srila Vadiraja Tirtha.
Vadiraj Tirtha.
He is one of the great acharyas, great scholars in the line of Madhva.
Okay.
It is there, Prabhuji, no problem. We will discuss about the corrections also later and will come. The corrections will be shown in the Bhagavatam.
Okay.
Based on Bhagavatam, we'll show the corrections. Don't worry.
Yes.
Any other devotees have any questions?
Great. Prabhuji, these 8 mountains are made of gold, and
Little louder, yes.
Kesarachala
No,
is made of diamond.
the four mountains are made up of gold. These 8 mountains are made up of silver.
Okay, 8 mountains. And Prabhuji, there was also a description that there were 2 other mountains on the other side of they are different. They were not.
That 2 mountains only we are discussing, Prabhuji. These two mountains are there, na? On each side of the Mount Meru, they are made up of silver. These are all silver mountains. And these 4 mountains, on the top of which the trees are there, they are made up of gold. And these 20 Kesarachala mountains, they are diamond mountains.
And Prabhuji, this Vayu Puran stated that in the southern side there is like bow-like place, which is south and north there is bow-like shape.
Yes, bow type.
So actually, how this south and north also coincides somehow incidentally with the south and north of even Bhagavatam also. So Vayu Puran reference and all. Any idea, Prabhu?
Prabhuji, they should coincide, Prabhuji. Otherwise, you cannot call them Purana. You should call them as Mithya. All the Puranas talk about our universe only. They all should speak same thing. If they are not speaking same thing, we should not call them Purana.
Okay. But north and south is relative, no, Prabhuji. It keeps changing. So Vayu Puran also says that same south and north direction. In that sense.
Same. Yeah, no problem. It will be same only. Relative also, kahan relative? Himalayas be southern side only, na? Kahan pe sab sages? Kahan pe discuss kar rahe Vyasdev sabse? Vyasdev ne likha na Bhagavad, Vayu Puran also.
Okay, okay. Yes.
Where he wrote the Bhagavatam, where he wrote the Puranas.
Okay.
From that point of view, south is south only, north is north. Don't worry.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, in another class few years back, you had mentioned that these mountains, they are not like parallel; they are in a curved shape. All the which divide the varshas.
Okay, Prabhuji, forget about it. Right now, you treat yourself as attending the first time. So when that comes, we will discuss about that, why it is curved.
Yes.
Okay. Right now, I mean, there are many new students also joined. Don't confuse them.
Okay, yes.
Okay. That will come. That time we'll explain that.
Yes, please.
Prabhu, these meeting places of the demigods on the top of Sumeru, that Brahmaji's place, that is nothing to do with Satyalok, where Brahma stays. That is higher.
No, that has nothing to do with Satyaloka. Yes.
But
perfect.
these are there like local resorts for them.
Yeah, they are like GV.
Huh.
Next Saturday, Sunday from Mumbai, all the councillors are going to meet. They have a all council meeting, ACM, once in quarter they have. Last time we all came to Pune. This time they are going to GV.
Okay.
So that is a meeting place. They have some recreation and also they meet and they make plan how to do, what to do for the next. Something like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Other devotees? Hare Krishna, please. I mean, I'm also one among you. Don't hesitate to ask me unless you ask. Last time when I visited Pune, they did not allow me go ahead only. They had a lot of questions. This time Pune devotees have become silent.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, like Ilavrata Varsha, sometimes it is also heard that this the name of this country was earlier Ilavrata Varsha and then Ajna Varsha and then it became Bharata Varsha. So, like
Wait. Don't get into the future topics. You ask
Okay.
questions based on what we have discussed till now only.
Yes.
Don't ask outside. Sorry, Prabhuji. If something is not clear, let us discuss.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu,
Hi.
Ilavat Varsa, just connecting Prabhuji, there also you said there is something called Siva mountain name where Siva is. So there, it is the same place where one person comes and he changes the sex. He becomes male to female because
We will discuss later on. That will come in the 17th chapter. That time we'll discuss. So we talked about Lord Shiva, having a township on top of this Mount Meru. Here, अभी तक Lord Shiva का name एक ही जगह पर आया. Here, this is the Lord Shiva's township, Yeshwati. This is like a recreational place. It is not a permanent place. This has nothing to do with what you are talking about. What you are talking about, we'll discuss tomorrow's class. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, we will discuss project. That is there. That will come in our discussion. That time we'll talk about it clearly.
Prabhuji, wanted to know that I have heard this Sumeru mountain is so big and huge. In the pictures also, it looks top from all directions. So it is not visible from any direction because if something is so huge and big, then these are
that also will discuss in one of the future classes, Prabhuji. Definitely in the second part of the presentation, that will be presented at the end of the presentation. Why we are not able to see Sumeru mountain? That time we will discuss.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, also the top of the Sumeru mountain is the base of the lotus, which we are describing in the stem, is the end of the stem of the lotus.
No. Abhi forget about the lotus now. Brahmaji, when it appeared from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu's navel, it was like a lotus. But once Brahmaji divided into 14 divisions, now it is 14 divisions only. Now there is no more lotus.
Okay.
So in that way. Now what we see is all Bhuloka, Borloka, Sargaloka only. They may appear to be like a lotus. The arrangement may be like lotus, but there is no more lotus now. Lotus has been cut into pieces.
Okay. And probably parallel to the top of, the peak of the Sumeru mountain is Dhrutara, same height?
No, it is much higher, much above. The Dhrutara is located at the topmost point of Sargaloka.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Any other devotees have any question?
One question, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, about this Prabhuji asked now question, like this Jambudvipa, what we were discussing. So, yeah, you told that the other side we are not able to see it is night. Why we are not able to see that, we'll discuss in further class.
Yeah, we will discuss that also in the second part. So currently we are only talking about the different divisions. Why something is happening the way it is happening. Like Prabhuji also asked, the Mount Meru is so high, why we are not seeing? The other things and all will come in the second part because they are not discussed in the Bhagavatam. They are all missing links. We get information about all these things from Bhugola Varnam. What is causing the day and night? Why this Mount Meru is all not visible? Bhagavatam not discusses all these things. They are all present in the Bhugola Varnam. All those things are kept in the second part. Even one of the Prabhuji asked, these divisions are shown to be curved, but here we are seeing them straight. The curved thing is also from Bhugola Varnam. So that time we will kind of fill in the gaps. So it's like that.
Prabhuji, and also this lotus flower concept, the division comes because it is Padma Kalpa, that's why, or it is every Kalpa it happens like this?
At one point of time, Vishnu Chaturvedi also mentioned that it seems that every Kalpa there appears a lotus. That seems to be constant phenomena. Because that Padmakalpa, that in his explanation in the for the 8th chapter of the 3rd canto, he says that the very first day of Brahma also comes a lotus. The last day of the Brahma's 50th year also comes a lotus, and today also lotus came. So seems to be all the divisions are mentioned in terms of lotus only. So seems to be the lotus is coming every day.
Okay.
So that's how they describe.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Mhm.
But also there are different names to different kalpas, na?
Yeah, even for today, it is their actual name is Shweta Varaha Kalpa,
Today is not Padmakalpa.
not Padmakalpa, because the lotus appeared from navel of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. It can also called as Padmakalpa. Padmakalpa is not a name, a permanent name given to any of the 30 days of Brahma's month. Padmakalpa is a nickname.
Okay, yes.
That nickname can be for any day.
So
Sweta.
Swet Varaha Kalpa is called
Today is actually Shweta Varaha Kalpa.
because Swet Varaha was he appeared in this.
Yes, yes.
Okay. But Nilvara also appeared in this only, na?
That is for the past time.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji.
That is to kill Hiranyaksha. He appeared again.
Prabhuji, the 4 Varshas at the 4 corners, like Bharat Varsha, and then there is Ketumal Varsha. They have only one side is mountain, other side is the ocean. But
Yes,
still they are
yes.
called Varshas.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that is also there because water is there, but on one side they are closely connected to the mountain. In that way, they are also called as Varsha. Little bit, what you can say, little bit adjustment here and there. In generally, Varsha is between two mountains, but sometimes एक तरफ mountain रहेगा, एक तरफ ocean रहेगा, अभी क्या करेंगे? एक तरफ तो mountain है, so इसलिए we can call it as Varsha. Certainly we cannot call it as Dvipa because what is only on one side, other side there is no water, so we cannot call it as Dvipa. So at least one side mountain is there, so call it as Varsha. So like that. Slight adjustment.
There is we say the mountain and we say there is a mountain range, right? In English we say. So here everything is called as a Parvata only, even though it is a long or it is a Keshachal.
Okay, that is also acceptable. Mountain range, the foothill of the mountain.
Yeah, so the big mountain, it is also called as Parvata, and even if it is small like Kesharachala, still it is called Parvat only. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Bro, around Jambudweep in the ocean, you showed in the diagram shows several hundreds of structures, maybe dots.
Okay.
Would you explain that tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow we will discuss. That is mentioned in the 19th chapter.
Okay.
So we'll discuss that. When that comes into discussion, that time we'll discuss.
Yes.
Okay. All other devotees are along with us. So today you can read through the first chapter few verses and 16th chapter verses also, so that you can correlate what we discussed now, so that we can move on tomorrow. So we'll stop here if there are no more questions. So thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Always thank you very much for joining, and we'll continue our class tomorrow afternoon. One simple request. Tomorrow I have a class from 1 to 2, and day after tomorrow also I have a class from 1 to 2. So the next 2 days we will have our classes from 2:15 to 4:30. Little adjustment. Hope try to adjust yourself. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday, 2:15 to 4:30 our class will be.
So that way our class timing would be reduced for 2 days. Would that?
Okay, I mean, if you can extend it after 4:30, fine, because after your dinner prasadam is starting at 4:30. No, that's why I'm saying.
Would it be troublesome for you to begin at 2 itself?
So class will happen in the classroom. Have to come back to the room to take class.
Okay.
So at least I need some gap.
Okay.
Some time.
Okay.
I am a student now.
Okay, fine, Fruit. So 4:45.
I have my classes means I'm attending the classes, PhD classes.
Up to 4:45 seems okay.
Okay. Then evening you can extend. I don't have an issue. But afternoon, 2:15 will start.
Okay, 2:15 to 4:45.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्तवृंद की जय.